What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to StreamCast, a show where we watch the latest and greatest stuff on streaming services with you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going good. WandaVision finished up.
WandaVision, it's over. It's over. I wasn't ready for it, bro. I wasn't ready for it.
But this week, making of WandaVision. Next week.
Oh, yes, next week. Yeah, that's something we should mention. So before we even talk about the guest who's on the show, which nobody really cares who the hell he is, let's just gloss past him. Next week, we're going to have something special. You guys probably thought, oh, there's no shows on. Yeah. What are we going to be doing? Or guess what? We're not keeping you guys for lonely at night, rocking, looking at the sunset, just like, oh, what are we going to do? We are going to be doing a special episode with none other than Tyler Dynamite himself, where we're going to be watching all of the trailers, discussing our hopes and dreams for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah. Basically what happened was Tyler came up to me and he said, I need to talk about it. I didn't know there was a week gap and I can't wait another week. I need to talk about it now. So he's like a crack addict at a window, basically.
He's fantastic.
Got any more of those shows, man?
Any more of them shows there?
There's plenty more coming. There's so much more.
It's packed.
I remember putting up the list of like, hey, if you guys ever want to join any of these shows, here's the list. And it's just from here till the end of time. Yeah. It's just like,
it's a lot.
But
stuff.
Speaking of guests, I guess we should introduce the one of the four pillars. Arguably, I mean, at least he is one of the better of the four pillars. True. There. That is true.
I'm the people's pillar, you know.
He's the people's pillar. He's a PP. That's what he is. That's right there.
Yeah.
Short for right there. None other.
That's why I'm on this show.
The first time on this show. That's right. None other than LongEaredFox himself, George Gerg. How are you doing, my bro? Thank you for joining us.
Doing good. I'm feeling great. I finished WandaVision today, so I'm raring to talk about it.
Fresh.
It's fresh in the mind. Yeah, that's what I wanted.
There we go. Yeah. Before we get going, I just want to have rough, no spoilers, no going into it just yet, no spoilers. This show is about spoilers. No going into details. Yeah. How does everybody feel about everything that's transpired in this episode today?
In this episode, it was a proper roller coaster for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give it I don't know if I give it a 7 or an 8, but not higher. There's been episodes that have been like 9s and 10s.
Yeah.
And I feel like the things that were resolved poorly really dragged it down. But the things that were great were really great, but they bounced out to like not a perfect episode for me. What about you, George?
I mean, I'm interested in hearing what you lads think, because I mean, I watched from probably episode 6 to the end today, so it all was really, it all flowed well into each other.
That is really cool. I did do that as well. I watched them all back to back and watched the last one as well. So
it's nice. It feels like a whole sort of experience. I really liked it. I especially liked the ending and sort of what the development of Wanda's character and Vision as well. That's sort of the main point of the entire show, is to make these two characters more interesting than they once were, and I think they really
closure, right?
Succeeded,
because they didn't have those final proper moments together. It was the most brutal ripping from each other, and they it was kind of like the goodbye to each of them. But will it be a goodbye?
What about?
Exactly.
I really liked it. There was definitely, like you said as well, there was some bad moments, and we'll bring them up for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Trust
me, it's not getting away with this.
Yeah, it's not getting away with it. But there are some moments in there that really touched me so perfectly.
Yeah, show some of the doll where they touched you.
Oh god, I was just thinking to myself, someone's going to clip that out. So it just touched me, you know.
Fuck's sake.
It hit me very, very hard, and sometimes I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh my god, this something. There were a lot of, everyone went wild with theories, right? Yeah. I mean, we didn't at all. We were very calm on the show.
Oh yeah,
we never went with any sort of theories.
First episode, we kind of said no theories. This is where I think it's going to go. We both just nailed it. Followed the script. Yeah.
We did pull out a couple of things, but those were only the ones that were right. Obviously, were the ones we obviously predicted. Obviously,
we wouldn't.
Eddie was right.
We would never predict something that wasn't correct.
Exactly.
That's not a prediction. That's just.
It's not our brand.
Air in the wind. Isn't it?
But the show overall, though, I did like it.
The show's brilliant.
I did have this episode I meant, but the show, obviously, we're going to talk about that at the end and we'll cap it all off. Yeah. But the episode, I did feel at the end, I was like, oh man, it made me go up and down and made me go sideways. I felt great. That was, I can't wait to talk about it. I really can't wait to talk about it.
Before we get too far into the show, this show along with all of our content on our channel as well as funding the flagship show here on the FPN.
Exactly.
Is made possible by the incredible Super Bros. Over on patreon.com/conversations. Who do we have today?
I don't like the way that George laughed there, by the way. I'm sorry.
It looks like you guys about to disconnect from the Discord.
Right?
Cool people.
Whose name is it on the channel? Who's on the channel banner?
You guys are all like,
boys.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Kane, a Bridge of Spirits, and all this bullshit over here. Get the
Hey, fuck off. That game looks sick.
Listen, no, the game looks sick, but you guys pronouncing it as Kana instead of Kenna.
What is it then? Because they're doing the demo says Kana.
Read it.
It's not
in
fucking
English.
Kenna.
Read it in English. K-N, Ken.
Dude.
Anyway, this isn't the place for that.
Yeah,
That's true.
We've already rinsed them enough on the True Gamer podcast, okay?
We're here for WandaVision.
Those people are Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Carol to Rivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan the Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Marty Scorsese's Master, H Barts 12, the Midget Aloy from Smallville, Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself, Albus Corey, Super Suspect Fry, I can't do it. No, I flopped on a word and it got me.
Flow.
Super Suspect Fry, who is a clone of Eddie, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, and Raj Vandalin. He's got a plan, guys. You just need to follow him on one more job, okay,
right,
guys?
beautiful.
All right, then.
Beautiful.
Thank you, bros, so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the streaming services going here at StreamCast, guys.
That's right.
And if any of you guys want to join us, feel free to hit those links down below. There's a good old Patreon. A lot of those guys that have joined right here will let you know how great it is.
And the best Discord on the internet, because of course we don't just watch this show and talk to you about it. We talk about it together. You write into the show on Patreon or on Discord, and we read out your comments. So
and there are a ton of comments
There's
today. Obviously, it's the end of the show. Everyone's going to be talking about it, but everyone's got a lot of really cool stuff to say. I can't wait to talk to them about it as well. So, gamers, bros, shall we get started with this episode?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Let's jump in.
So we start off the episode 9, the series finale, and it starts off with the standoff that we ended off in the last episode. Right. The outside, Agatha...
Ains Heartless,
my apologies. Ains Heartless is out there with the kids, and she's got like her magic string around their necks.
Yes, something.
She also does a really weird, like, she's like pulls them back, and I was just sort of like, ooh, them kids, their necks gonna break. It felt really painful.
Yeah,
that
was rough. That shit was mad.
It was mad shit. And Wanda comes running out, sees the kids, and goes, my powers work out here, or did you forget?
Yeah.
And Agatha says, I'm counting on it.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's she talking about there?
She has that like Kamehameha absorbing power.
Ooh, she's got talk about the best version of it, which is obviously Yoda absorbing the electricity from Count Dooku. Obviously, we know this is one of the
apologies.
The best version of that right there.
What a classic.
Wanda does get a few hits on Ains, and she can absorb it, as we just said right there. Wanda's
her hand gets like aged.
Yeah, so her hand starts.
So how can she absorb Wanda's power, but Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet can't?
Well,
it's a different
magic.
First of all, it's magic.
Well,
come on, guys.
I guess so.
But also,
I guess so.
I feel like Ains's whole thing is that she absorbs magic specifically, and Thanos' thing with the glove is that it always is pushing his will out. You know, as opposed to taking stuff in.
I sort of interpreted her power as a bit like Rogue from X-Men, where she doesn't have any powers herself, but she absorbs powers, and I guess she absorbs all those other witches' powers, and now she has witches' powers.
I guess,
But I guess she was probably a witch before, but it's difficult to interpret, isn't it? It's just the way you do it. But like you said, her hand starts to go all dark and like aged, a bit like those witches that died on that day at the.
But Wanda is not to be outdone. She doesn't have to fight. Like using her magic powers, she can use her magic powers and slap a bitch with a car.
Oh boy, the way she just slapped the bitch with the car. That's just like, oh, that's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Did you guys also notice in the house when she checks?
Yes. Did you notice, George, anything?
When she checks what?
So when she throws the car at her, she goes to check on her body, and all you see are her feet under the car.
Yeah.
And just her boots there.
Yeah.
It's a Wizard of Oz reference.
It's very Wicked Witch.
Oh,
Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah,
okay. Fuck, I haven't even thought about Wizard of Oz since I was like 10.
So like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Shit,
we are boomers here, so but White Vision appears out of nowhere, and he doesn't say anything. He just comes down.
Yeah.
And Wanda's just like, Vision, is that really you? and he says, almost like real Vision, because I guess it is real Vision.
Wanda.
Yeah.
Wanda. And then she just gets nice and close. He puts one hand on her cheek, and then the other hand. And then starts to freaking crush her head like a car crusher.
Yeah.
And all you hear is like, and I'm like, oh, she got
That
pop.
shit was horrible. That was harrowing.
It was
man.
like Game of Thrones all over again.
Yes.
It was like squidging her head in.
I was like, oh,
Man,
what's going on?
It was pretty rough.
so bad. But then Real Vision comes out of nowhere, T-bones the hell out of
Real Vision.
Yeah.
Our Vision.
Well,
Vision.
yeah.
No, the Vision. There you go.
Vision. Oh.
Yeah, the Vision.
Our Vision comes along and T-bones him, pushes him into I don't know, like a camper van or something like that.
Yeah.
Explodes into fire. And he's probably like, oh.
And they go off beefing, basically.
Yeah, basically, White Vision does do one cool thing. He walks out of the fire like a badass. He's just like, I'm just, I'm a vibranium
The
motherfucker. What are you
CGI
saying?
was
Yeah.
a little during that fight. The CGI was a little bit in some places, like Black Panther 1-esque.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie,
but it was believable. So like it wasn't on screen for long enough to ruin the entire episode. So it was fine.
Although it was a little bit rough. But
it was rough.
also, it's not Avengers, and I will say that's one of the things that I'm trying not to look at this too harshly, because at the end of the day, we have two of the people that fought Thanos fighting in this, and it is not anywhere close to like an Avengers level fight, or even, you know, it's not a fraction of it, but it's not a fraction of the thing. You know, it's a series. It's an 9-part series.
9-part series.
9-part series.
Yeah, 9
for much less than the budget. Like it is not supposed to be that.
I think it works out too. So it's like half an hour. It works out to something like 4 hours of content, which is way more than a movie is.
Yeah.
So you have to imagine they have to stretch those VFX artists. Also, two things I want to bring up here. One, is it Paul Bettany playing White Vision as well?
Yeah.
So it's both of them, right? That's cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
could
just
believe
got
that
like
one.
a sort of
He's
like weird
brilliant,
effect
by
on
the
the
way.
voice.
He must have like a white version of everything that he wears for the the normal Vision and whatnot. And two, did you know how much of his face is actually CG?
No.
So I've seen the behind the scenes, and they paint him the color that he is, and they put tracking dots, and every other little line that you see on his face and everything like that is all CG painted on. And when I first saw it, I did not think that at all.
No.
I was like, that's real.
Really good.
I was like,
that's makeup.
I was like, you want to make as much of this as real as possible, because then the actor is going to be like, yeah, that's right, I'm Vision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
It's amazing. And there was one funny video I saw online afterwards of him peeling his face off, and it's basically just like a wax thing over his face. Anyway, I thought that was quite cool. So he must have an entire white version of that as well to
I
be
just
White
want to say
Vision.
that Paul Bettany, because there's some Vision versus Vision like fight / discussion going on. White Vision is not anywhere close to the Vision that we know, and Paul Bettany's range, because you believe him in both roles, is insane. What a talented actor!
I love Paul Bettany. He's
so
fantastic.
However,
I love him.
He did troll us on this entire episode.
He did.
Did you hear about what he said, George?
Oh, he was like, "There's a fucking like guest character appearance."
That I've always wanted to work with. Yeah.
And the motherfucker is like, it's me. I've always wanted to work with me. It's me.
I mean, it's not wrong, and I respect him for it.
I know. Troll of the Year award goes to you, Paul Bettany.
I was sitting there hoping like Doctor Strange would be in it or something.
Right, one of the X-Men, which we'll get to.
We were like, all of them were like, we named a bunch of people. Not one of them came out. Anyway, as White Vision is getting back up, and Wanda is having a nice moment with Real Vision, saying like, you know, oh, we need to. Don't worry, I trust you'll sort this all out, Wanda. Agatha comes up as well, just as Vision's coming back, and goes, "Ooh, this is awkward. Your ex and your boyfriend together at the same party." And I was like,
I see what you did.
I see what you did there, Agatha. You're really good on that. I like it.
I feel like the very next shot is a bedroom window. It's Monica and Pietro.
They go off to fight, and then
the Visions go off. That's right.
And Monica's banging on the window, and you'd wish she was banging you.
Facts.
And Pietro's just like, don't worry about it. They can't hear you. No one can hear you over here. And then I think that's what we get to hear from that moment.
Douche Lord outside.
Yes, exactly. Yes. After a little cool fight scene from Vision and Vision, but that's not that.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Yeah, it's pretty small. They're just fighting in the air. There is some cool like phasing that they do.
There is cool phasing.
And I was like, that's quite nice, but still, it was quite bad CG as well.
It's very much though. Like
it was.
Yeah, the CG is a little rough, and you can tell that they spin a lot. not because it's the choreography of the fight, but because it saves the budget because they
More
can
movement.
blur.
Yeah, more movement.
Little things like that once you have an eye for it, you just sort of notice this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's Douche Lord outside.
Yes.
Jimmy Woo's been captured.
Yeah, like he's under arrest, like in cuffs and whatnot, and he tries to explain that no matter what, no matter how this situation turns out, this is douchebag here, explains no matter how much, by the way, we call Hayward douchebag, George, just so you know.
Well, he's a bit of a douchebag.
He's a
lot
prop,
of a
a
douchebag.
lot, yeah,
Bit of
a
an
full
arse.
bag right here.
He's 20 pounds of douche
Yeah.
and a 10-pound sack in it. Like
Exactly.
He's, yeah.
He tries to explain
He's
that
just-
no matter how this goes, he'll spin it as if he's the hero. Either he brings down Wanda, who's been imprisoning all these people, and he'll be awarded for that.
Yeah.
Or if somehow White Vision breaks out and whatnot, and Wanda survives, then it's like, oh, look what she did. She brought back a Vision. She stole his body and used him to bring back the
Yeah.
love of her life, and basically
now
just
look
painting
what
her as the
he's
villain.
Yeah.
And there you
Yeah.
go. So it's like and then either way, he's got his reasoning for wanting to
Yeah.
attack Wanda and whatnot.
Yeah.
But Jimmy is like, he goes over to Jimmy and says, you could have been a part of this if only you had a little more vision. Oh, dad
Good
jokes.
one.
I like it.
He
Dad
used-
jokes
He used the name,
Good one.
the name of the character
of the character,
in his pitch to,
Exactly.
to Jimmy about
because if you
needing
have
to
vision,
think ahead,
yeah,
but like a vision for the future. But the
Exact-
character's name is Vision.
because it's vision. The guy they sent in.
Yeah, he needs the vision.
Did you get it?
They both need the vision.
Did,
course.
Did you get it, George? Did you?
You have to be a fucking idiot not to get
No,
it.
no, no. But after we explained
of
it,
course, yeah,
obviously,
once we
after we
explained
There's
explained
probably
it,
someone in the comments. I didn't
It's
get it.
funnier now. Yeah,
jokes are always funnier when you explain them, guys.
it's true fact. You should do it
True fact.
regularly. What did Jimmy
Yeah.
like? He sits down and steals someone's phone, right?
Yeah, which stupidest guards in the world, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were literally right behind him,
In
staring at
fairness-
him. Like I literally saw
Oh, yeah.
the dude in the background.
watching him do it.
Yeah, he's just like ah.
In fairness, he's a Doctor Strange level sleight of hand magician,
True.
right?
He did pull
Is
out
he?
the card like that when he was
did.
going up to Monica. Did you not see so in one of the early episodes,
I
like
think
2 or
episode
3
2
or
or 3,
something
yeah.
like that, he pulls out his business card to give to Monica before she goes into the hex for the first time, and she learns. I didn't notice this. Sheps told me
Yeah,
about it. He pulls out his business card as if he's a magician, sort of like out of his palm.
Yeah.
So,
What?
Yeah, it's
so
like-
what-
That's such a strange nuance of his
Well, it's
character.
because in,
Yeah.
I think it's
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Is it Ant-Man or Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. In the second Ant-Man, he's speaking to Paul Rudd's character, and he shows him some sleight of hand. He's like, "How did you do that?" And
Okay, it's been a long time since I watched
It's just
Ant-Man,
one of
It's
those-
but
been a
I
long
remember
time since any
that.
Marvel's come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was under house arrest, so he learnt magic, and then
Yeah.
he was just like, "How did
Yeah.
you do that?"
Yeah.
And then he taught him.
and he used it for the thing.
It's
It's
such a little stupid
so
thing.
stupid.
For
I love
fuck's
it, though.
sake, everything's connected.
Everything, but fucking Kevin Feige just looks into the future
That's
and he
right.
posts stuff.
Well,
Kevin
This is
Feige's
gonna-
a great fucking madman.
he is a fucking madman, and we're going to come back to it because that's exactly one of my beefs.
Okay,
Kevin Feige's a madman.
so he grabs a phone in front of all the guards and no one sees. He gets
Yep.
thrown back. He manages to get out of his handcuffs because, as well as that,
Sleight of
he's
hand.
Houdini as well. He gets out of his handcuffs and he calls up his mates to call for backup. He was like, "Hey,
guess,
blood,
yeah.
there's some shit going down in the hood.
Wagwan,
Come down,
grab the
wagwan,
boys,
bunting."
tool up.
Exactly.
Yeah, be here within
exactly.
the hour and that.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Can you be within the hour? Back inside the hex, Wanda has gone into the town center looking for Agatha now, basically. Do you have something else? Did I miss something? Sorry, Sheps is looking at his notes and he's confused.
Yeah, I don't know where their I thought their discussion happened out with the boys, where she says about the Book of the Damned.
The boys don't show up just yet in my version. Let me go this way, see if it jogs
Yeah, yeah.
memory, see if it does anything like that. Anyway, she goes out into the town center and she's looking around. She sees all of the townspeople obviously going about with their lives and things like that. And then Agatha pops out on top of one of the buildings
Yeah.
over a sign, and she's like, "Wanda, you've never had to fight a witch before. Did you know there's a whole chapter devoted to you in the Darkhold?" Did you hear Darkhold first, or did you hear
That's
Darkhold?
cool.
I totally
I
like
like
the
that.
second thing.
I heard the second thing, and I had to turn on subtitles in order to see. I was
Yeah.
like, "The Darkhold."
I mean, I'm gonna be honest as well.
I mean, the
like,
Darkhold's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., isn't it? It's
Yes.
in like season 5.
it is.
I've heard
But
that. I
Agents
don't
of
know
S.H.I.E.L.D. is
whether-
decanonized now, obviously.
It is. And
Yeah.
in my defense, I have been thinking about Darkholds for the whole of the series.
Exactly. Yeah.
So-
Monica. I mean, I'm not going to say
No.
who.
Fucking hell!
Look, he didn't say the words, so
No, yeah.
it's okay.
I didn't
FPA you're safe.
Somebody else said it.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
God.
yeah, the whole chapter devoted to you in the dark hold. That's the book of the damned. She says, like she has to spell
Yeah.
out to him. Makes it magically appear out of nowhere. It looks super cool.
It was pretty bad. Has anybody seen frick, what's it called? Army of the Dead, things like that with them. What is it called? Oh, I've lost it.
Batista.
No. So it's this old like B movie series with this guy named Ash, and they read from the Necronomicon at summons demons and stuff. And in the remake of the original, which the same guy made like 2 or 3 years later, but the first one was a serious horror movie, but it was shit. The second one, he totally knew it was a B movie and just went for it. And so the guy, like, his hand gets possessed, and he cuts it off to stop himself getting possessed. And then he goes out to the shed and like puts a chainsaw on his hand.
Of course, yeah.
As you do, right?
Right.
But that's like, it's called the Necronomicon, the book.
Okay.
And it's like,
And it looks like this.
it's actually way worse. But
It looks like the dark hold.
it's very like dark. It looks like it's made from human skin
Flesh and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Normally in
fucked up.
like witch stuff it is like that, but this one at least looks like it's like metallic or something
It's
like that.
crazy, right?
It looks really cool in my opinion.
Kind of reminds me. We mentioned the Mummy before, but it kind of reminds me of the book that they use, the book of life, the dark book.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I know
like
the books you
metal
mean.
and
There's 2 of them, isn't
yeah.
there?
George, tell me you know the Mummy.
The Mummy. Yeah.
Brandon Fraser?
The Mummy movies.
Anyway, we've gone off topic slightly.
Yes.
So she opens up the book and you can see sort of a figure of like a woman sort of standing like that, some funky symbols and whatnot. Clearly,
Yeah,
this
it was
is
like
Wanda.
some Leonardo da Vinci shit.
Yeah, it really did look like
Yeah.
that, right? It did. Anyway, shows her the chapter on the Scarlet Witch, and she says that she's not born; she was forged by the universe. It's like you're not born. The Scarlet Witch is forged into existence. And she goes that this witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, I like that reference.
The
Yeah,
only
that was
Sorcerer
cool.
Supreme we know.
I like
Doctor
it when they mention
Strange,
Doctor
hey.
Strange. I love me some Doctor Strange. You know, that got me hyped as fuck.
And right at the end, she says, and that she will destroy the world.
Yeah, that's a bit concerning.
That's
a little bit.
like, I was like, don't worry, I'm on her side. Scarlet Witch, bring Scarlet Witch. Oh,
oh no.
the
Yeah,
place
what's
that
going
I'm
on?
living. Oh,
Yeah.
that might be a problem.
Yeah, I'm one of the
Yeah.
idiots that lives here.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, Agnes then decides to break the hold that Wanda has on Dottie, the bitch from the garden party.
yeah.
And she breaks out of it and she comes up and she goes, oh, Wanda. And she starts begging her. She's like, can you just, do you want my daughter to play with your sons? Just let her come out of her room. I'll do anything. She can go to school. She can be a bully. She can do anything. Just let her come out of her room, please.
Give
I
her a
just
role.
want to.
Dark.
Yeah.
That's one of the darkest things. Forget the chapter in the Book of the Damned.
Yeah.
The fact that like the kid has had no part, so she's just like locked away.
There's
There's loads of people delegated to like the outskirts of
Yeah.
Westview that are just not moving, but they're still
Yeah.
living. So it's like they're almost in this eternal, like just
That's right. there's
frozen in
that
time.
chick putting out her drying, like
The-
crying.
Yeah, and she's constant and she's crying.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
oh
yeah.
god, that was
Yeah,
bad.
that shit's dark. Yeah,
That's
that's the
really
shit.
dark.
that's cool.
But as long as it's out of sight, it's out of sight. It's out of mind, right?
Facts.
Out of sight, out of mind. That's how it
Yeah.
goes. Like that.
Wanda's still
Exactly.
the good guy here. Remember.
Exactly. Good
Yeah.
guy, Wanda. And she goes, Agatha then does the same to the whole town, and everyone in the vicinity just starts swarming Wanda. Half of them kind of know what's going on, half of them don't, and half of them just obviously don't want to piss her off. But say like, I've got a husband who went away on a trip when this will happen. Tell him not to come not to come by any circumstance. Tell him not to come here. It's like, I was gonna go somewhere to help somebody. This was Herb. He was like, I'm gonna go somewhere to help somebody, but I can't remember what it was. Do you remember? And everyone's just sort of swarming her, overwhelming her, until it gets to the point where actually no, it doesn't happen just yet. They're swarming her. And then we cut back to the man cave,
Yes.
where Pietro has your girlfriend, Monica Dambo.
Yeah.
Yes.
The main character.
The main character of the show. Did you know she was the main character, George?
Wow.
Yeah, she is. Of
Guess
course.
so.
Yeah.
I
She's
guess
the
so.
hero. She has the only real hero's arc.
Exactly.
She
exactly.
becomes all sorts. I mean, I don't need.
Yeah,
to
she
lecture
does have a
on
cool
how
arc.
She becomes the hero's.
Exactly. We know.
She's the true hero. of
Exactly. We know.
course.
We
Yeah.
really
I got some
know.
issues with what happened with her.
Pardon me.
Just a few.
George, if I was you, I would take a full step back, apologize. This is not something you want to say.
I'll say George is right. She got done dirty with bad writing with Ralph Boner.
Hey, spoilers! That's what happens.
Yeah, that was
exactly.
dumb. I found it funny, but it was dumb.
I
like,
actually hated this.
It's just
one of
like,
the
what are
biggest
those from fucking Black Panther or like Thor playing Fortnite? Like, it's just a
Yeah.
dumb joke.
It is dumb.
So this is what happens in this bit. So she's sitting there after being like she got flicked back in one of the previous scenes, and she's sitting there on the sofa and she's looking around and she's looking at some papers and she sees a picture of Pietro,
Yeah.
and it says at the bottom, Ralph Boner, and she's like, "You're Ralph?" As in Ralph Ains Ralph.
Right.
Ralph Boner? And he's like, Boner.
Yeah.
My man
Explaining the joke.
pulled Quicksilver from another universe, from Fox TV, from Fox Movies, to make a dick joke.
Yeah.
When you put it that way, it's funnier. The way I feel about this, that's pretty funny actually with the way you say
Really?
it.
Okay, you found the fact.
I
Go,
did
tell me.
not.
That's pretty funny. And I kind of respect it.
Oh, God, no.
Me,
God.
knowing that this leads into Doctor Strange and stuff, that's our next big Marvel release.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's the multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
That there is a multiverse that are looking to come in. They've acquired
Yeah.
now the X-Men IP to bring in an X-Man and make him the X-Men that he
Ralph
played,
Boner.
and then just make him some guy. That's not cool. That's not like subverting expectations.
See?
That's a lie.
That's just
It's-
disappointing
yeah,
people.
it's not. You lied to us. That's not like. That's not a red herring.
Yeah.
Like something for us to focus on. No. You made a real big point, and then it wasn't the thing you said it was.
And I'm pissed about
So
that.
dumb.
I'm really
George,
angry.
what was that? What was more angry about it? That he turned out to be nothing, or the dick joke?
I don't care about the dick joke. Like, I can look over that.
It's
It was just
funny.
a pointless use of a great actor that
For
could have
me-
been used in the future.
For me, that
No,
was
they just fucked it.
the little bit on top. That was the kick while I was down, because
Yeah.
we had all these theories
Yeah.
that was like, oh my god, brought from another universe, could he be? And then in the last episode, I made peace with it. I was like, I think he's gonna be nothing. I think he's just gonna be an
Yeah.
appearance, and then he's gonna disappear with the magic. No problem, cool. And if he had
You
done
didn't call that earlier
If
because
he-
you haven't been right about any of these things.
right, Eddie is never right, right, guys, in the chat, hashtag Eddie was right. And I was like, do you know what? If he goes away, then that's that. It was just a way to like manipulate her or something
Yeah.
like that. Cool. But then
But why
to
not use the
reduce him
real
even further from a Quicksilver, an X-Man, to nothing, to even below nothing, to a dick joke. And I was like, do you know what? Nah, I'm done. Nah, that was too much for me right there. I couldn't take that shit.
This point here with Ralph and the I'm not even going to call it a misdirect. It's a lie.
Yeah.
Is what makes this episode a 7, maybe an 8.
It takes away a lot.
Brings
doesn't
it down.
Minimum
Yeah.
2 full marks because I actually really liked the rest of it.
Mm.
I did really enjoy it. It's not meant to be an end game level fight.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have end game level budgets. All those little problems I can take away from it. You know, I can let it go. Even the I mean, how outplayed is the beating the android with the logical problem, the paradox?
I thought it was quite funny. I was like, where are you?
Right. It's really
I liked
outplayed.
that bit.
So
liked
did
it.
I. Like
I really
beat
liked
the
that
android
bit.
with the logical paradox is so outplayed, but this is the best one we've ever seen in
Yeah.
my opinion. It was
Ever.
brilliantly
What was the
done.
problem
Yeah.
that he laid out in front of him again? What
I've
was
got it
called?
laid down.
Yeah,
we'll talk about
we'll
when we
talk
come
about
to it.
when
I've
we
got it
get
written down specifically so you guys
Cool,
can get
cool,
it.
cool.
Even those
Nice.
things which you could reasonably say take away from the show, at worst make it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
This whole thing with Pietro, minimum
2
it can't
points.
get 2 full points.
It's
It
just
can't
a
get above an
pointless,
8.
like, weird subplot that has nothing to anything. It's
Yeah.
just like, why have you introduced Evan Peters
Right.
Yeah.
Quicksilver
Yeah.
not to do anything with
Recast-
it? It's such a waste.
Yeah, it's really rough, especially because we know they now have the IP. They
Yeah.
have the X-Men. We're
We
coming
was
into
looking for
multiverse
it.
of madness. Like, it's
I was just fucking
I'm really angry about
really
it.
angry about that.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
We were all angry, but Sheps probably got over it pretty quickly because immediately afterwards, Monica does a nice little flip on Ralph and pins him to the ground, and Sheps probably like, I wish that was me.
Suddenly I want to be Evan Peters.
Exactly,
Quicksilver.
exactly right there. And she sees with her magic eyes that she has, that we still haven't got explanation for, that
Isn't she Photon?
we don't know yet, but that's what the
Right,
prevailing
yeah, yeah.
theory is. But then again, we had a bunch of theories,
What's your
and then
theory?
what happened?
Because then we'll know for sure what it is.
Exactly, Photon. There you go, guys.
Cool, confirmed.
We know.
Her getting her powers was like so sudden.
Yeah, it was, but I feel like, you know, for one, it was fairly well led up to in the show. where they mentioned how it's because she's gone through the hex so many times.
Yeah.
And what the hex does, like how it keeps the
Alters
stuff
and
that's there, but everything's changed like at a molecular level. Her clothes, I feel like, is the best analogy for it, where they go and find her 70s clothes.
Yeah.
But it's like 90% Kevlar or something. It's her bulletproof vest.
Also, it's good.
Yeah.
I was wondering as well. It's like, well, then surely everyone who's inside the hex would have these problems.
They don't go through the barrier.
Exactly. She's the only one that goes through.
3 times.
Everyone else gets like engulfed by it, but she goes through it. So that's a good thing right there. Anyway, she gets pinned to the ground, sees the magical necklace, pulls it off, and is like, "Hello, Ralph," and it was Ralph the whole time. And he's like, "Oh, don't hurt me, don't hurt me." Anyway, we go back to Wanda. She's being surrounded by all of these people. She's getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They're all scared, and they all start saying things. They're like, "We feel your fear."
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you guys are all at peace. What are you talking about? It's like,
dream
no,
your dreams.
we're not actually happy. We have your nightmares.
That's it.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Now this is a prison. This is a nightmare prison.
Yeah.
I was really scared at this point. And
these people are undergoing like psychological fucking torture in there.
right. And for how long? How long have they fucking been in there? God, it's been terrible.
No idea.
She goes, when you sleep, we have your nightmares, Wanda. And she gets overwhelmed. She starts spinning. And then she screams out and her powers unleash. And she strangles everyone with her powers.
And she's like, "Oh God, no!" And tries to undo it.
Stop it! And
Yeah.
for a second, I thought it wasn't working. It took like a second.
Same.
I was like, "Oh
I was
shit!"
like, "Are they gonna do it? They're gonna have Wanda kill like loads of fucking people?
She's gonna kill 60 people in front of her. So, oh shit!
It's just like what they do.
She's gonna be the villain. No,
She is going to be the villain. Yeah.
Well, she pretty much is, isn't she? Like, she's pretty
it's one of those.
inadvertently evil. Like,
It's one of those things. It's like it's because she suffered probably the world's greatest grief, right? Not like, oh, my husband passed away from cancer, which is bad in itself, or my husband was hit by a car or something like that. My husband's mind was ripped in front of me after I had to kill him myself.
yeah,
It's pretty rough.
Yeah,
Pretty
He got
rough as
brought
far as
back,
it
and then
goes.
I had to watch it happen again.
Right, some fucking shit. And then when I bring him back, it's like, Anyway, so I feel like they could have given her a pass if everyone had
Also,
come out okay. But
And this is one of those things of like, it's a brand new power. Like, she has no idea she can do this thing. She's not completely in control. At least for the first sort of half of the show, she's entirely at the. She's being blown in the wind by whatever she's created, even though she doesn't. Okay, here's a question for you both.
Yeah.
Early on, she says she doesn't know how it happened. Do you think she really doesn't know, or is she like playing up her part and like she's choosing not to think too hard and remember?
Yeah, maybe it's her denial. It's like that massive outburst of energy is like she's almost a part of the show as well, and the fact that her denial means that she plays this role herself. Yeah. She wouldn't like deceive. I mean, I guess she does deceive Vision when she's like sort of trying to tell him, no, it's nothing.
Yeah.
I took it as, obviously this is all interpretation, right, isn't it? So I took it as she had that grieving moment, she burst out with energy, but then when the moment afterwards, after that grief, she saw Vision, she just went into this blind dream where she's just like, I'm with Vision now, nothing else matters. She went from the worst pain to, in her mind at least, the best version of her life immediately. I think she kind of just blocked it and just went straight into her dream, and then she forgot about it until she was told again. And
that's
like who would not just like allow that to happen? You go from everything in your life turning to shit, and then in an instant you're just like everything's perfect. She may be a superhero, but she's still
to give into it.
a human.
She then actually she's a mutant, but don't worry about that.
Is that actually a thing? Is she actually a mutant?
So this is the thing, she's Wanda Maximoff in the comics is the daughter of Magneto.
Obviously.
The reason why they couldn't do that in the MCU is because they didn't have the license for X-Men. But the theory is that that's how she was a mutant, but just sort of like a weak mutant with weak powers, and then when she came in contact with the Infinity Stone, but that's just a theory, so there's no confirmation.
It's a theory that holds no water. Based on what we saw in the show.
We had an argument about this last episode. That's what this is, right?
We did, and for the record, I agree with you. Wanda Maximoff is Magneto's kid. She is a mutant, but from what we've seen in the show, and the thing is, Agnes says the Infinity Stone nurtured what otherwise would have died on the vine.
Yeah.
that cannot be referring to a mutant
I think
gene.
I think you're taking that too literally. I think you're taking that too literally, as if like her mutant power would have died, like never,
Well, no, like,
disappeared and
died
done.
on the vine means that like it would have withered away into like it would still be there, but just nothing you can use. Right? That's not how unless she's talking about like the mutation wouldn't have activated.
Yeah, I think it would have been more like amplified to the point of where she is now. That's what I took as the potential.
Could work.
I don't think she's a mutant.
No,
I don't know if they'll. I don't think they'll do that.
To be honest, it was just a theory,
agree.
and I was like, it's not going to get wrapped up in this episode, which was, I brought it up just for fun.
Yeah.
And
I guess
also-
it is up in the air right now. It could be anything.
And also, in the future, do they ever need to say she's a mutant? Is there any, are we going to get anything from that?
More
Not really. I don't really care.
Yeah, like more important is she's the Scarlet Witch.
Exactly.
It's a bit more important.
It's like, you're the Scarlet Witch, you're going to destroy the world. By the way, you're a mutant. I didn't need to know that bit of information.
They set
Anyway,
up a lot with her character. I'm really
they
excited.
did. It's so
We'll get onto it though. We'll
Also-
get onto it,
yeah.
of course.
Can we just say, like, not just have they set up a lot with her character, but how much has she delivered?
Ooh, yeah.
Like as an actress, her like.
Oh, I
range
love
out the
Elizabeth
show-
Olsen.
Yeah, she's so.
I
brilliant.
love her.
Because early on she was just like the redhead that did the wiggly woos in the face.
Yeah.
Right. But man, she can act. Like she can.
Oh, she can.
act.
It's crazy.
Do you remember the memes that used to say, "Hey, if you ever feel left out, remember that there's another Olsen twin. There's another Olsen sister."
Yeah.
And everyone used to
Yeah,
remember
there
the
is.
first Olsen twins.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's like, who the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Who are they? This is the one.
Yeah,
we're
who the
talking about.
fuck is they? Everyone loves Scarlet Witch, man.
Exactly. That probably what motivated her. She saw that meme one day on Twitter. She was like, "That's it. I'm getting in the MCU. I'm doing it."
Definitely not the paycheck. Definitely not being in Avengers.
No.
Getting back at her sisters, isn't
Exactly.
Is that Parent Trap who?
Anyway, we move on, and basically she goes, when she is finished strangling those people and gets lets go of them, Mrs. Hart, I don't know what her real name is, but the older woman and whatnot, she goes, "If you won't let us go, then let us die."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dark.
That's how badly she's torturing them with their thoughts. It's like, if you won't let us go, then let us die. But then she goes, "I will let you go. I will let you go." And then she just cries into the sky and opens up part of the hex.
Yeah.
And it's like, go now. And people start to go out. Just before she does that, Agatha does sort of caught her into it and says like, do it,
everybody
Wanda.
out, yeah.
Do it. Heroes don't torture people.
Yeah,
And she opens up, so it's like, oh, fucking.
Yeah,
she
which
wants
is
this
true-
to
which
happen.
is right, to be fair.
Yeah.
She's right, but she's got an ulterior motive. That's
Oh, yeah,
what she's
for
going
sure.
on with right
Yeah.
now.
On the outside, though,
Yes.
Douche Canoe
Oh,
is like, let's go.
yeah. There's a crack. Let's go.
He's the most stupid man in the world. Like
It's awful.
his decisions are so fucking nonsensical.
They don't
Yeah.
make any
Doesn't-
sense
like,
at all.
honestly, throughout the whole show, he's just like this idiot. Like, I
really
hate him
is.
so much.
He really is. It does nothing. He does make sense. Like the taking the security footage and then editing it to like
Make her look terrible.
what?
Yeah.
Why?
Exactly, because you could have resolved this peacefully, and everyone would have been
Sending
fine.
the fucking drone in there and going, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to tell anyone that we're going to fire, but I'm just
we
going
got
to do it."
we got missiles on this. Wink, wink, lads. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. It's like nobody else knew about this.
Oh,
What are you on about?
So she's an Avenger. Like she fought Thanos, bro.
Right?
She's
yeah,
not-
yeah.
she
She's an
fought
Avenger
Thanos.
that like fought Thanos.
Yeah, like
Anyway, he's outside and he's like, "Okay, let's give the order to move in," and they start moving in.
Yeah.
We go back and Vision is starting to fall apart.
Yeah.
They're fighting in the sky with the white Vision, and Vision is falling apart. First, his Mind Stone starts to stop working, and then he starts pieces of him breaking off, and he falls back to the land,
Yeah.
right into the town square where Wanda is, where she's like lifting the hex, and you can see him breaking apart from behind, and he's walking
Yeah.
towards Wanda, and it's the most terrible thing.
Yeah.
And to make things even worse, the kids come round the corner,
Yeah.
and then they're walking towards Wanda, reaching out, and they are breaking apart.
yes.
Yeah.
Confirmation for the first time that they weren't real this
Yeah.
whole time. We had
Yeah.
our theories and thoughts. How did you feel about that? Were you fooled up until now, George, that these kids were like real?
I was, because on the outside they were saying like they're real.
Yeah,
like,
they have.
there's no way
no
they're
one's
not
been
real.
cast as them.
I mean, not
Yeah.
that they would know in any way. Like, I mean, how would they know that they're real or not? Like,
Well,
Well,
know who
true,
the
but
kids
there was
are.
no one that they were used.
sorry, you.
in real life.
I get what you're saying, because there weren't any kids that were cast as
Yeah.
them. Okay, I was thinking more like, how would they know if they're real or
You know
not?
how
Because
it
it's
was
magic.
like John Jones cast as like Billy. Right?
Yeah.
They didn't have anything for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were breaking apart as well, and it's the most heartbreaking moment. You're like,
Pretty rough.
shit.
Yeah,
And
it's like it's kids, man.
it's another moment from Infinity War again, where these kids and Vision are being taken away from her without even getting a proper goodbye.
Yeah.
So as a result, she closes the hex back again so that she can save her kids and
It
Vision.
feels to me like it takes more effort to make the hex go away than it does to let it maintain. I don't know about you, but it feels like she just stops pushing against the hex and it closes back up and they power up again. I don't really know the rules of the hex, but
Yeah, especially because later on she just sort of like snaps her fingers and it starts to contract, and it does seems like there's no effort. But I guess it's for effect and whatnot. And
I guess it could be because it's a movie.
It could be because it's entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So Wanda uses her powers. Agatha starts to attack, and Wanda uses her powers to protect the family.
Yeah.
But then Agatha then sucks that power back, and then she gets really dark in the hands and really aged.
Yeah. For the record, the way she's like aging is it's almost like she's taking burns as well.
Yeah, it's really bad. Really bad.
Nasty. Yeah, it looks scary.
It's pretty rough.
And at that moment, she gets surrounded. So they get surrounded. White Vision turns up.
Yes.
The sword people that were coming in with douchebag McDouche comes in. And Agatha is also in the sky.
Yes.
And it's just, all right, everyone's going to attack these kids.
Up in the air now. Because like the sword agents are now in the hex, but they're not affected by the hex.
Yes.
But everybody else still kind of is. It's a bit up.
Well, it's because they drove through the gap, didn't they? And
That's
they
the
didn't
thing.
go through
I took it
the
as
threshold.
Agatha broke the spell off of everyone when she did that thing. Maybe it wasn't just everyone in the vicinity. Maybe it was everyone, and they all escaped when she lifted that thing. Yeah. Maybe
everyone in Westview.
There's no way to know for sure.
Everybody, like you said, is sort of attacking the Wanda family.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know by 9 episodes that Douche Lord is just a douchebag.
Yeah.
He whips out a gat
just before then.
yeah.
So just what they're gonna start to fight, right? Everything's kicking off, and they have a nice little line. Vision is like, "Boys, your mother and I never prepared you for this."
Oh yeah.
But Wanda turns around and goes, "But you were born for it."
She has a Sokovian accent as well.
Exactly. Vision takes Vision away. They go and fight in like a library somewhere. They have their little fight. Shh. Don't keep people reading in here, you know. Jesus Christ, it's the town meeting as well happening in there. Right. They get into a nice beef, and Vision, the White Vision, goes, "It's my programming directive to destroy the Vision," and I feel like that's being said by every suit in the world. Just like every suit at WB is like, it's my directive to destroy the Vision of the DCEU.
Yeah, of course.
Everything that happens, and I feel like
that's Zack Snyder's job.
All right, that's it. Looks
like the Discord disconnected.
Sorry, guys. His recording just
I had to slip it in there, didn't I?
Wow.
And he goes in there, but he tries to reason with Vision. Vision tries to reason with White Vision.
Our Vision tries to...
Yes, it gets very confusing, guys. Our Vision tries to reason with White Vision, and he tries to explain to him. He goes, "I'm not the real Vision," and then he goes, "I request elaboration."
Yeah, they're like hovering around in a circle in the thing. Yeah,
it's cool.
We pull back, and the kids do some extra work. One of the Wiccan uses his ability to block all the minds of all the people with their guns out and stuff like that, and then
freaking McDouche Lord, large extra fries, pulls out a gat and goes to shoot the kids.
What a fucking mad guy! Is it like he wasn't that bad up until this point?
Like, he's just he was a bit incompetent and he was against Wanda, but you can kind of see how
general douchebag,
right?
And now he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill these kids,
murder kids." Sam,
basically doing a school
where's
shooting.
that character progression coming from?
That's on another level right there.
I feel like he's just evil corporate. Or I don't know, military man _1.
I mean,
there's nothing to his character.
The whole time, so
he does wear a suit the whole time.
He's literally just a suited man.
Everything he says sounds calculated. Like the thing about the whole, when people see that I stopped Wanda and whatnot, everything will be fine. Well, they'll see it seems calculated. This is just, I pulled out a gun onto the kids.
Let's kill the kids, boys.
Let's do it, lads.
What's going on?
Someone clipped that bit of George right there.
Yeah. Wanda being the true... no, not Wanda. Monica. Being, the main character, the true hero. dives in front of the bullets.
Yes. No.
Yeah. She has no idea what powers she has. They're brand new to her. Like
True.
20 minutes old.
And she seems to slow the bullets down a lot.
Yeah. I
so
feel
they
like
just
she
trickle
takes
out
the
of her
energy
back.
out of them.
Yeah.
But
They
they
like
also go
she
through
turns
her.
into jelly.
Yeah, they go
Yeah.
through her. They just trickle out of her back. One of the bullets gets through, and Wiccan just like force field
It goes
stops her right
past
there.
her, yeah.
Bang right there. And she's like, "Cool powers, kids," and it was really
It's
good.
like,
right
yeah, I
there.
like yours too.
I
Yeah,
like yours
thanks.
too. Really
Yeah.
cool moment right there.
Yeah.
And then we go back to Vision, and this is the bit that you asked about, George.
Yeah, the ship
So-
of Theseus.
Our Vision and White Vision.
Yes.
He goes, "You are familiar with the thought experiment, the ship of Theseus, in the field of identity metaphysics?
Obviously.
Naturally.
Obviously.
No, George, you know
Yeah.
about the metaphysics of theory, isn't it? You know all about that,
Yeah,
right?
Of course I
Yeah,
know.
we all do, all of us.
Yeah.
It's just it's just like light reading for me. That's what
Yeah.
it is right there. Sure, okay. And he reasons with him, and he tries to tell him about like, okay, when you replace the wood on the ship, if you remove the rot and you put it back, is it still the ship? If you replace the planks, is it then still the ship, or is it the removed planks? And Vision basically turns around. He's like, well, both are true and both are not true. It can be whichever way you want to see it. And he's like, look, I haven't got an ounce of my original material. You do. And he's like, well, I don't have the Mind Stone. It's like, yeah, but you know, you have all of my memories in there.
Yeah.
You have all of it there.
Yeah.
And he then goes over, he's like, may I? He goes to touch him on the head, but he
Yeah.
gets a little bit cowers
Ask
away.
for permission as well, which
Is
is
that-
cool.
May I?
Yeah.
And he touches him on the head, and all of his memories of being Vision comes flooding back into White
Even
Vision.
the ones of him dying.
Exactly. You see like the Mind
Oof.
Stone explode.
You
It's
see-
just oof.
Whatever's
Yeah.
powering him in his forehead, which is blue, it turns yellow for a bit,
Yeah.
but then it comes back to blue, so we know this is not our Vision.
Yeah, it's
He has the memories, but
it's strange. I don't know what to take from this. It goes yellow for a second, it goes blue like you said, which means like it sort of goes back to him. His eyes change completely
They
to
do,
the
yeah.
normal Vision look of the eyes.
Yeah.
And then when they look at each other, they both sort of look to the side, almost in. He's either mimicking him or he basically is him, and he's thought to do the same thing.
yeah,
It's up to your interpretation.
it's really rough.
And then he just
It's a
says
really cool
three
scene.
words: "I am Vision."
Yeah.
Boosts off
It
into
flies
through
up.
the skylight and goes away. Our
Yeah.
Vision goes outside to help everybody do the fighting out
Yeah.
there, and that's the last we ever see from White Vision, and it's bloody
Yeah.
oh god.
There's a surprise.
Obviously going to be picked up
It's
later
a-
down the line.
Of course.
But
yeah.
what happens? Is he real Vision? Is he taken up? Is he basically got all of the information and he's alive that he can
Well,
do
I mean,
that?
it pretty much is Vision, isn't it?
If he can-
he's made out of like vibranium, I
It's,
assume.
it's true.
and
This
he's
is the
got
real
memories
Vision,
now.
right? And he's got all the memories, and he's got a power source, so it must
And
be.
he's physical, yeah.
He
and-
also says though, he says you have all the data, not the memories,
Yeah,
which is slightly different.
maybe
Well,
he's
it's the
trying
data
to talk
of the
it.
memories, isn't it?
Maybe he's trying.
Yeah,
to,
because he's talking to an AI. Isn't he?
yeah, I
So
think
it's
maybe he's
just
trying to say it in his language, perhaps.
I guess.
And also,
Yeah.
can he change? Because I swear to God, Wanda cannot date a fully white android.
No,
It's scary. It's
he's nightmare fuel.
nightmare.
Yeah,
fuel.
he does look mental.
So
yeah.
if he can change his eyes, do you reckon he can change the rest of his
Must
body
be.
to turn to fucking back to the color?
Vision chooses his own colors when he's like born.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Age of Ultron,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
I think his body's one color, which he doesn't choose. It's just there. But then when he goes towards the window, he chooses his cape. He chooses his suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a character creation.
Yeah,
menu
it's like
in front of him,
next,
and
next,
it's
next, next. Bigger dong, bigger
Right,
dong.
right.
Yeah.
Size 10 dong.
Right. Magnum.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah, and then Vision goes back outside to help everyone else. Wanda does her creepy thing that she hasn't done from Age of Ultron. You know that creepy walk, like Scarlet Witch walk behind
yeah.
Agatha, and then messes with her mind,
yeah.
and she's back in
Salem?
1699, something
Something
like that.
like that, yeah.
Salem,
Yeah,
where she's
Salem,
where
yeah.
she's just killed all those witches right there, and
The witches start. This is, again, nightmare fuel. They just start coming back to life.
coming
It was
back.
creepy. Yeah,
Witch
they look
zombies,
horrible.
Man. This is a horror movie now.
I know it
Kids
really
getting
is.
shot.
There's
They looked
definitely a
nasty.
tonal shift.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
They start getting up, and she's like, "No, no, no, no!" But then at one moment, they all just turn around to Wanda, and they all in unison say the same words. I forgot what the words were, but it's like sort of like, "You're the one in the book.
it's-
You're the
Yeah.
you're the one with the chaos magic. You're the thing like that." And they go after Wanda, and they tie Wanda to the stake there thing in the middle, where they tied up Agatha before.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I don't know if it's from like her powers are getting stronger, but her magic crown appears
Yeah.
while she's tied up to the stake.
That was cool.
Looks really
That was
It
cool.
was sick.
really cool right there.
It
Looks
was-
really
Yeah.
cool.
Like I love how they're embracing the comic book looks. Like before they try and
Yeah.
make it look modernized, but now they're just going fuck it. Let's just
mean,
make it look like
we
the
make more money
comics.
than God. Fuck it.
I think it
Yeah.
depends if the styling works. Like the original Vision suit, rough. It's not.
Well,
it's not
yeah, I
good.
wouldn't like him to look like how he did in the Halloween
Right,
episode.
But if something
nor
works,
nor Wanda
Right,
either.
Exactly. But if something works,
Go for it.
use it, right? And,
Yeah.
and she looks incredible like that.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
is it while she's tied up, Agnes says like power isn't your problem, it's knowledge.
knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah, which is also very Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. Like
Yeah.
magic is a skill that is learned, not like an ability that you just have.
Yeah.
You can have like raw power, but you need to like
You need to
kindle
know
it
what you're
with
doing.
knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Agatha makes one promise here. She goes, "Give me your powers, and I promise I'll use the power to correct the mistakes of your hex so it can make everyone happy and you guys can live happily with your family in the hex." Very alluring, tempting offer because she gets to
Mhm.
stay with her family. It's for knowing exactly where to jab her. But Wanda doesn't take it.
No.
Wanda takes a big old burst of energy, pushes everyone back and out of this dream state
Yeah.
right here. They're back in the
Flying around Westview.
Exactly, they're flying in the air, battling each other. And Wanda is shooting a lot of her magic at Agatha.
Yeah.
Missing
Some
a lot of
miss,
shots.
Some hit.
I was like, come on, man, work on your accuracy. This is
Right.
below 25% of the Call of
She's
Duty
blind
accuracy over here, man. What's going on?
Just spraying and praying, man.
Spraying and praying. That's what
Yeah.
she's doing right there.
Going for it.
She's going for it, and on the outside you can see Jimmy Woo's perspective of it, and it's just like boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
yeah.
It's like the inside of a battle in space or something like that. It's like boom.
It's
Mhm.
very Star Wars Episode 1.
Exactly,
Yeah.
everywhere. And she's hitting those things, and she's every now and again hitting Agatha. Agatha's absorbing that power, and then one final hit, she absorbs the power and also seems to pull more and
Yeah.
get her in like a lock.
Her like life force and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Wanda's losing all of her color, losing all of her power until she's maybe this far away from death. She's just floating there and looking like a husk. So
Yeah, so
terrible.
old and
Yeah.
wrinkled.
Really terrible.
It's close to the end, isn't
yeah.
it? Oh, that was loud.
Sorry, that was my
Nothing,
alarm,
guys.
sorry.
Nothing. It's,
Don't worry about that.
it's time for
People
him
don't
to
like
take
that.
his-
People don't like that. That's a 9 o'clock alarm there. That's on every one of my streams. People wait for it. For some
a
reason, I
weird-
don't know why.
That's a weird alarm. That's a weird thing. Everyone's just counting down the minutes. Anyway, she's about to die. She's at the edge of her life right now.
Yeah.
And in her final moments, Wanda is about to lose it. Goes about our. Agatha says about
Yeah.
our deal.
She's like twisting the knife in it.
She's like, once the spell's been cast, it can't be fixed. No one can
Yeah.
fix what's going on here. So it will always be broken,
Yeah.
just like you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ouch.
oh,
Yeah.
not cool.
She
right
had to
there.
rub it
Not
in
cool.
before realizing that she can't do shit.
And
Yeah,
then she
goes
just
for the
goes-
Kamehameha.
Shit. Oh. And then we look back at Wanda,
Yeah.
and she regains all of her color. She regains everything, and then
Mhm.
she goes
We pan around the
pan around,
the
yeah.
hex.
And around the hex, you see all these runes going around.
The same
Yeah.
runes that were in that little room.
Exactly.
The
They're
basement.
large.
Yeah. And she
Yeah, they're huge.
it's like, oh shit! It turns out Wanda wasn't missing. It turns out it was all these runes that she was making right
It's
here.
very anime fight.
Yeah.
Exactly. And at that moment, Wanda pulls all of Agatha's powers away from her, sucking in all her powers. And she looks like she's drawing powers from her, from the universe, from around her. It's this massive, blinding scarlet light.
Yeah.
And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you see this silhouette. You see like a skirt appear. You see like the pointy top of the head.
It's what we saw.
Oh,
It's what we saw in the vision.
It's so
good.
And when it all disappears,
So good.
boom! Scarlet Witch
It's so sick.
in her peak. Oh
Yeah.
my god!
It's
so
good.
sick.
It's
Oh.
good because we've never seen her as the Scarlet Witch. We've only seen her as Wanda Maximoff, sort
Exactly.
of dressed up in a red like jacket or whatever.
Quality.
And now she is the Scarlet Witch. Like it was. Oh, it's such a good
Exactly.
moment. I loved it.
I just have to say as well, both Agatha and Wanda's hair, the volume look to it, something about it was really, it got me. And I was like,
Yeah, it was
all
really
right,
good.
okay, this is it. Okay,
mean,
babe, can you do your hair like that? Can you?
I'm
Thank
also a fan of hair of certain volumes.
Yeah, you like that as
I
well.
do,
Yeah,
yeah.
of certain volumes. Yeah, similar
Oh,
sort of
yeah.
thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Afro look is quite nice.
Agatha says something here, which I think is our actual Mephisto tie-in.
Yeah,
She says
they go back down to land, and they're like, "So what are you gonna do? You're gonna lock me up somewhere?" He goes, "No, not somewhere, here." And then she
She
says,
says, "You have no idea what you've unleashed,"
Mm.
and I think that in a few years' time we'll come back to this and say that cicada thing, that was a Mephisto thing, and it's the fact that she takes the power from Ains and like locks her away in here that is the thing that gets the ball rolling on this. That somehow she had like maybe made a deal with him, but like got the better of it,
"Yeah,
and kept him under wraps or kept him tied up somehow. And
I think that's what it is as
Yeah.
well. I think definitely the reason why she's not dead or arrested or anything like that is
Yeah.
because she's going to be used later. And the fact that she says, you have no idea what you've unleashed, you're going to need me, she says,
yeah,
that's very, very hinting that
Well,
something's
Yeah,
coming.
and Wanda
Find
said, yeah, if I do, I
Yeah.
know where to find
I'll
you.
know
So,
exactly
yeah, we
where
could
to
come
find
back.
you.
I would like
Wanda
to see him
could
come
be
back to
really
Westview
dark.
at some point. It'd be really cool. Yeah, Wanda's crazy.
Yeah.
Wanda's crazy. I really like the
would-
approach they've taken with her.
I would love to see it maybe at the very end of Multiverse of Madness or whatever comes next.
Yeah.
I
The
can't
final
wait for
credit.
that movie.
It's going to be good. The final credit, the end credit scene, post credit scene is Wanda walking into a thing, and there's like nosy neighbor, and she's like, "I need to speak to you." Or, "Hey neighbor,"
neighbor.
I need to speak.
Yeah.
She clicks her fingers, and it's Agnes.
Oh,
Yeah. That'd be cool. That'd be
Yeah.
really cool. It's like a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
She,
that'd be
she
sick.
when she turns her into Agnes, she immediately goes into face. She's like, "Well, hi, hon. Did I
Yeah.
leave the oven on, or is that just you, hot stuff?" Oh, she goes straight into
Artichoke.
exactly. So
Yeah.
perfect. Ains is so great. It's so great.
Yeah.
Right
I
there.
love that actress. I don't know what her name is, but she's
She's
fantastic.
brilliant.
Oh, I've forgotten her
Yeah.
name as well, but
I
she
saw
is
it earlier today
brilliant.
and I forgot it.
brilliant. Yeah, we're terrible with names.
So
That's how
good.
Ains came about.
There's a lot of milky mummy milf energy.
exactly.
Going
That's
on.
all we need to know. really.
Yeah.
Funny MILF energy.
That's what all of the women in this have got some serious good.
That's true. I
good
mean, it's
moment
full
energy.
of it. WandaVision's built on that.
We
Yeah,
love
exactly.
it. We
One
love
of the
it.
core
Great
fucking
foundation.
pillars.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
great. Exactly. Anyway, after that's done, Vision goes, "Don't worry. Like I know you'll set everything right here."
Just not for us.
Oh,
Vision, please.
Yeah.
Vision, please.
I'm not
Don't
ready,
break
Vision.
my heart
I'm
like
not ready.
that. Don't break me like that, Vision. Come
Don't do
on.
this.
But
they go,
That hurt. That hurt. That really hurt.
Yeah.
"No, not for us.
Yeah.
Let's head home, shall we?" Oh,
Yeah.
God, this is so bad. Anyway, they go home. They take the kids, and at that moment, the hex starts to shrink.
Yeah.
You start to see
Yeah.
things go in, and then we go back home. It's very quiet, very soft. You see the kids. Let's tuck in
They
the
tuck
kids
the
into
boys
bed.
in,
It's
yeah.
nighttime. It's their bedtime.
It's like quite a relaxing night.
relaxing moment.
Yeah.
They kiss
Yeah.
them on the head, and they go. And Vision goes, "Your mother and I." Takes a pause. Very proud of you both.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
Then they swap beds so they can.
Oh.
kiss each other on the head,
Yeah.
got like that. And then, Wanda wants this one of the things like we're family forever, and you can never really leave each other, even if you tried. And
Yeah.
so just one little
Mm.
thing, kiss them on the head. There's so many tears. I was in tears at this point, by the way. I genuinely, I couldn't hold it back, and it gets
I was
worse.
gripped.
It gets worse for me in a second.
I stopped taking notes.
Yeah,
I was just watching it.
I
I have no
to watch.
notes. I go to. I get to. She leaves and she says,
Oh, let me say this one if you
Yeah.
don't mind, because I got something for this. So she's going out the door, and I didn't know that Paul Bettany. I know Paul Bettany's British, but I didn't know that Vision was British because he says "Good night, chaps," and I was like, "This is the first time I've heard him say anything
"No,
like that."
because he's Jarvis."
Well, you can hear it in his accent, can't you?
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I never clocked it until this moment when he said "chaps," and I was like, "Hold on a second."
See, this whole time he's like, yeah, he's American.
It's like he's an American guy. Don't worry about it.
3 Iron Man movies, 4 Avengers
Yeah.
movies, and 9 episodes, and it was the word "chaps."
That's
to
it.
let you know.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Just 1 minute.
You know what though? There are
Something's
some
not
people
right.
that you can't tell. There are some people out there that you cannot tell whether they're American or English. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
certain actors. I
Tom
couldn't
Holland
tell
does it
you
well.
any now.
No, I
Well,
think
yeah,
there's
Tom
an
Holland.
American
Tom Holland
accent.
does do well.
There's also a type of American accent where you're like, "Are you a Brit that moved to America?"
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like-
Like sounds like they could have been from England.
Yeah.
it's-
Anyway,
It's like Ian McKellen. I think that's one.
Yeah, that's a good one,
yeah.
actually. Yeah. Anyway, we get into this scene. Just as they're about to leave, Wanda turns around.
Yeah.
And she says, boys, thanks for choosing me to be your mom. Oh, God. And this was extra bad for me because my girlfriend literally says the same thing to my daughter.
Oh no.
And she says it sometimes when we're just looking at her and we're just in love and whatnot. It's like she's just so beautiful and we're just like,
she's gorgeous.
and she says that, and she says that to her. And when I heard it, I was like, I know the feeling that she's got right now.
Yeah, you can relate to, whereas I can't. You're a father.
Oh my God! Everyone go and have a child. Everyone go have a child right now. Watch this whole series again.
Then you'll be able to see WandaVision in a different way if you have a kid.
And it got me right in the heart, as it probably did for you guys as well. But
So,
just a little bit.
I thought you would pick this scene out, but I thought you would pick it out because I think this is another nod to Mephisto. Because the theory for the kids and Mephisto is that they're parts, Mephisto's soul's separated into like 5 or 6 pieces.
Yeah, lost his soul, broke up in a fight, and then the pieces of them were taken into universe, and she pulls them from the universe to make her child.
To make the children.
Yeah, children.
So this is where
there is definitely still going on, and it ties up at the end as well for this one. So let's talk about that in a second. Cool. So yeah, the hex is swooping in at that moment. Just as they're closing the door, you can see the red glow as well on the window. It's like, because you can't see the kids die. You can't see the kids die. It was bad enough what happens later, but the kids, no, I can't handle that.
You can have a gun pointed at them, but don't have them.
Yeah, I can have them shot. They can die. Don't that way, but don't worry about it. Anyway, the hex comes swooping in. Wanda goes downstairs. She starts turning off lights.
Yeah.
But Vision turns them back on, and he goes, I read somewhere that it's bad luck to say goodbye in the dark.
Like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. It's like, no. I just wanted to see you clearly one last time. It's like, oh,
bless you.
Sweet.
Don't do this.
This is where I was getting choked up. This is where I was getting choked up. Even big manly me was getting choked up, man. Come on.
We are all here. We're begging for them to stop doing this to us. And they're just like, no, we're going to keep going, guys. Don't worry about it.
We're going to tug at your heartstrings.
He's already dead.
He's already dead. And he goes, okay, just want to see you clearly one time. And,
before I go.
Yes.
What am I? Vision, my guy, stop.
Stop
this
it.
Hurts enough.
Stop. Oh, God. He goes, before I go, what am I? Oh, sorry, I've got some technical issues right here. Oh.
Gerg, you there?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry, we didn't hear you for a second. So.
Cool. Oh, for real? Yeah, no, I'm here. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Good.
Are we still recording?
We are still recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's all good.
This is just
one of the technical issues. Okay, let's try and keep it going. Let's go. So yeah, it goes. Before I go, they're holding hands, looking at the window,
with
looking
the red
at the
glow coming.
Exactly. It's like, before I go, what am I? And she says, "You're the piece of the Mind Stone that lives in me." It says a few other things about bones and wires, and it goes, "You're my sadness. You're my hope, but most of all, you're my love."
And it ties back to the scene with her and Viz in the Avengers room, where he's like, it can't all be sorrow, and what is sadness if not the love that remains,
and what is grief if not love persevering.
Right? What a line that was.
Something.
That was great.
All right. Oof.
That was good.
And then they kiss, and then they pull back, and Vision, a robot, an android, sheds a tear.
Yeah, that was a sick moment.
That was sick.
That was so good. I really liked that.
It's really important. I feel as well. I hate sometimes the curtains are just red.
Yeah.
But like their first kiss brings color into the world. You know, it's true love's kiss, which is very Disney.
Yeah.
And then what happens at the very end? They kiss and he sheds a tear. Like he's human. He's Superman. But he's Clark Kent. You know, he's human. Yeah. He's as human as anyone can be. He's a real boy. He got Pinocchio'd. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But he has to go because they're all heroes. The whole family are heroes, right?
Exactly.
They can either exist or people suffer, or they can't exist anymore. Yeah. So there's no decision because they're heroes.
Exactly. Yeah. No decision there.
It hurts.
It hurts a lot. It hurts. And he goes.
That final scene, man.
He says one other thing. He goes, "I have been a voice with no body, Jarvis. I have been a body but not human, Vision. And now, a memory made real, like it was in the Hex. Yeah. Who knows what I might be next?"
Yeah.
Just giving her that glimmer of hope. because he goes, "We've said goodbye before," and she completes the sentence, "So it stands to reason that we will say hello again."
Oh
Goosebumps, man.
I literally just got goosebumps.
I got goosebumps
right now.
as well. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's
Dude,
mad.
it's such a real well-written scene. Like, honestly,
It's freaking beautiful. The writing, especially for these two, in a lot of cases, some throwaway scenes, like the bit on the bed in the Avengers thing. It's not a major scene in the show.
No,
I really liked that one. That was significant.
I thought that was so good.
it's not for anyone else other than Wanda and
Yeah.
Vision and us.
It's a really
So intimate.
It's a really
Exactly.
intimate, romantic.
Yeah,
I don't mean romantic like in a romantic way. I mean like romantic, like
it's that part of your
Casablanca
feeling.
romance. You know, like old school romance. Like
It's really wholesome.
yeah,
It's
it's just it's a real true love story. You know,
yeah.
like a
I'm not
true
one
love
to like.
story.
I'm not one to get into much like romance stories. They all seem a little bit far fetched, but I think this was a really well done one.
Yeah.
Especially
It
because
was.
it's characters that we already really sort of like. I mean, I guess Wanda did get sidelined a bit, but she was great in the
There was-
Avengers films.
That's the thing. There was a lot going on in Avengers,
was a lot
right?
going on.
And they couldn't really focus on two characters that much, even though they did give.
Yeah.
There was that was an impactful moment where she had to kill Vision, and then Vision died
Yeah.
again and whatnot. It was imp-
Yeah.
especially because we didn't get to spend that much time with
They
them.
tied
But now we got to fully fledge it out,
and they tie a lot of it
Yeah.
back in, like the whole is it in Infinity War, just
Yeah.
before they're attacked, where he's like, I have something to tell you,
Yes.
and then we find out what it is, that it's the house,
that's not good.
Oh God, yeah.
That was
you know, and then the little note, like a place to grow old in, with a love heart, and then in the first episode there's a love heart on the thing, and she doesn't know what it means. Like
Oh, dude.
what
That
this
shit.
is you know, like you see people playing your heartstrings. Someone's taken like a battering ram to it, and just like they're
it's a pinata. That's what it is.
right.
Yeah, man.
It's tough. It's not easy to watch, but that's what makes the show so good and kept me hooked the whole way through.
Exactly.
Was also watching them like kind of pull away from each other was interesting to see.
Yeah, to
Like,
bring them back, innit?
Like watching Vision realize something's up, but trusting Wanda, and then eventually realizing something's up, but he loves Wanda,
Yeah.
and he kind of has to back her, but this isn't right. So what does he do? And then pull away
Yeah.
and go out and explore on his own,
It's a very.
but then
when-
come back.
It was a lot of roundabout ways, but then the way they nail the landings when it comes back.
Man,
So the hex starts coming in. It gets to the point where it closes on Vision and Wanda, and you get a beautiful moment with the music rising and dropping and whatnot. And he starts to break apart in his yellow light. And in
Really
the-
nice
this time,
CGI actually.
Very
It
nice
was good
CGI,
CGI.
right,
at
it's
that
very
bit,
good
yeah.
CGI,
Yeah.
but it's also different. Like all the other times he's fallen apart or broken apart,
It looked
he's-
painful.
He's in pain.
Yeah,
It's confusing.
Yeah.
It's something scary, and this time it's like,
peaceful.
Nice.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
peaceful.
He even
He's
says that
happy when he goes.
she's disappearing in like his hands as she's like got his hands around his face, and he even says like, "So long, darling." It's just like a
Yeah.
peaceful goodbye.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
It's like bittersweet. It's sad. Like it is really sad, but at least you know that it's not him getting his, power
His
life source ripped out of his
Brain
head.
ripped out of his head. Yeah.
I get the
Yeah,
feeling
yeah.
that he's one of the reasons why he's so calm that he's going. I mean, it was obviously like pain going on. He was crying for God's sake. An android cried for God's sake.
yeah.
Um,
Well, it's not from. What do you mean by pain?
I mean, well, he's losing the love of his
Right,
life.
the pain
and
of
that's
the
where-
goodbye, not
exactly,
of the dying
exactly.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
more like-
definitely that. But I feel like part of him being so calm, like the "so long, darling," and obviously laying up the what might be next. I think that's hints to he is going to be Vision again. The white Vision.
Oh, I
is gonna
think
be
so.
him. I think that's kind of like, and that gives him peace because he's like, I may be going, but I know the love of my life standing in front of me.
Yeah.
It will eventually be happy because we will be reunited somehow.
There's a lot of questions about like identity and who you are and stuff like with the white Vision. You know, Ship of Theseus is a real
Study.
thought experiment. And this comes back to nerdy stuff, right? Like there's this theory, which I guess would be true in Star Trek,
Yeah.
that every time these teleporters, the version of them dies, and
Yeah,
it's a new
yeah.
version of them because it's different atoms.
And is this the real person? Is it
Right.
not? Are you still?
It happens to us as well. I think it takes 6 years for your body. Every
Renew.
atom in your body is totally different.
Yeah,
Every cell's
I've
different.
heard
Every
that.
atom's different after 6 years.
You
So
guys
are
didn't think about
So
that now, did you?
technically, you're a different being.
Yeah, you're totally different, right?
Yeah.
So like what is identity. Will White Vision, even though he has the memories, he hasn't experienced them. He just knows of them, and he has also got different experiences when he was woken up, and a different outlook on the world and a different outlook on his mission.
It'll be an interesting story. It'll be an interesting story. Anyway,
before we get to the post-credit scene, I have a question for you guys.
There's just the goodbye bit at the end, basically. Where she goes out into the people, this town. Everyone's staring at her. Obviously, they're really angry. She goes over to Monica. Monica knows the truth, though. It's like if they knew what you sacrificed, then they wouldn't be so angry. It's like, yeah, which is true. It's true, but you're a hero. It's not about looking good. It's about doing the right thing. She did the right thing. That's all should matter. She goes, "You're not angry with me, though," and she's like, "Given the chance, given your powers, I would have brought my mum back as well." So like, I would have done.
I like that
well.
line.
Yeah,
I like that.
And you hear the sirens, and she's like, "Goodbye, Monica," and then Scarlet Witch is the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, it's cool.
And that is the end of the show. Not our show, the end of that show, but then there's post-credit scenes and another end credit scene.
For that,
yeah.
With the hex gone,
yes.
Where is Ain's Heartless being kept prisoner?
Shit.
In Westview, isn't it?
In
But
Westview. But there's no hex. There's not like a random house that was empty for her to just chill in.
With the hex gone, so are those runes, so she can use magic. Do you know what I mean? She's not subject to being powerless and issues.
I could believe that her mind is completely taken over, that she can't do any magic. I don't know where she goes, though.
There's still there must still be the real her in there somewhere, but she's just suppressed.
Yeah, I think it's inside, suppressed by Wanda's magic.
It would be interesting if they come back in that post-credit scene. She comes back to Westview. Everybody else is normal, like it's the Westview with leaves everywhere. Yeah. But she's the nosy. Hey, neighbor.
Hey, neighbor.
Everybody hates her because she's so chipper and happy.
Jesus.
Bitch,
just go. God.
Right. It's like she's still living as if she's in a sitcom, whereas everyone else is normal.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
Letting herself into her neighbor's house because they're doing a cook-up.
Bitch, do you want me to call the police?
Like, you can't do that in real life. What are you doing?
Exactly. So then we get to the post-credit scene, the mid-credit scene, I should say.
Oh yeah, there's two. That's right.
Mid-credit scene. So we then go to mid-credit scene. Monica gets called by another agent.
She's debriefing like the FBI and the people from S.W.O.R.D. who aren't douchebags about Lord Douchebag.
Jimmy's got authority, and it looks really good.
It does. And then somebody comes up and says, "Oh, Monica or Captain Dambo, they want to speak to you in the theatre."
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. She follows them in, goes down. I also love that it's a little town theatre. It's like Westview's Odeon or whatever brings to you double popcorn with extra butter, whatever the hell.
Yeah, exactly.
And she goes down to the bottom, looks around, and there's no one there except the agent. What are these things called again?
Scrolls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she just transforms into one of those scrolls. And they say as well, he wants to talk to you. And it's like, exactly. Oh, you didn't see that, George. But he put one hand over his eye to be like Nick Fury.
I was thinking it was Nick Fury. I was thinking it was.
It's definitely Nick.
I was thinking it was.
Because he's been on the ship with them in the other post-credit scene, and he wants to talk to you. It's pretty obvious who it is.
Well, we haven't seen Nick Fury in so long, it feels like.
I really need some badass Nick Fury action.
I need it.
I need to forget about Captain Marvel Nick Fury, because he was
we don't talk
shit.
About
Like,
we don't talk about Captain Marvel. We don't talk about
it was the cat. The cat scratched his eye.
Mate,
fuck off.
Of all of the freaking things.
Are you kidding? Because look, I know we're not comic book canon here, but Nick Fury has super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Nick Fury is, I mean, he's not Captain America levels, but like he's like, I want to say a Vietnam vet or something, but he's still like fighting age type deal because he ages slowly.
Yeah.
Like he's a hardcore dude.
But it's a cat.
And we watch him fight tons of people in, is it Endgame? No, when he's beefing Hydra.
He's in Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
Like, a guy that hardcore. It is Winter Soldier. A guy that hardcore and a cat gets him. No, I'm not having it.
That was so stupid.
Yeah, he fights Loki in Avengers as well. Like he tricks him or whatever.
He'll beef out Hydra, but a cat with a bad temper will get him.
That whole movie was just
about
just
a
get
superhero stealing motorbikes and stuff. It's the only one I haven't seen because I just refuse on a few of those grounds.
They should have never revealed the reason why his eye was scratched. Or they should have had it as a good story instead of a shit joke.
Yeah. Mystery.
The mystery makes it way cooler because Nick Fury being this like he was already the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was like a very shady organization in the first place. And on his own, he was just very mysterious.
If a guy that tough, who can fight Hydra, who can fight Loki, who can face down all these beings and not blink, what does it take to take out his eye?
Yeah,
the mystery is so much cooler.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
And especially that scene where he's like, the last person I trusted did shit to my eye. I forgot what the exact line is.
He's like, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. And it's like...
Yeah, that's such a good line.
So that was just
and
bullshit,
then they ruin it.
Yeah, it's ruined.
Well, it's meant to be a joke, as in, the last person I trusted was a cat. It's like, fuck off. I just hate... that's not in my head canon, alright? That's fucked off.
Go away, delete everybody from your mind.
The movie's not canon. We haven't met Captain Marvel. She hasn't been in it.
Yeah, just don't watch it. I mean, I fell asleep watching that film.
Been in any of the movies.
No. We saw a light flash from the sky to fight in the end game.
It was Master
Chief.
It was.
Yeah,
we don't know who it was.
Just an extraterrestrial force that comes to help at the end.
Exactly. Could have been Superman. We don't know.
Exactly.
Nah, it wasn't fucking Superman because he's shit.
Yeah. Listen. First of all,
a good take.
You swore on our podcast. If this takes down the FPN now, we're gonna blame you. But no. Anyway,
I gotta slip those little fucking DC jokes in there.
I mean,
that's the main mid-credit scene.
Well, she also says, "Where is he?" and all she does is point.
Yes.
So
in like space, we imagine something like that.
He's a badass. He'll face all those things. He'll hang out in space, but don't let him sit near a cat because he'll get beaten up.
Exactly. So we then go to the end credit scene.
Yes.
And it's a very, very cool shot.
It is.
Of one camera from very far away.
I feel like this is the same cabin that the Hulk was in.
Was Hulk in a cabin?
In like one of those terrible movies, the one with Ed Norton.
Oh, okay, maybe
it's like in the middle.
What
of
is
nowhere,
that? The Hulk, the Incredible Hulk.
My memory's so, probably the Incredible Hulk because my memory's so fuzzy on that.
This bit is like Wanda's Thanos moment, sitting in a cabin, like looking over a natural place.
She was like, "Oh, it's Thanos." So that's what he did.
Yeah, that's what it was, like a mirroring of that. It almost reminded me of it. I don't know if it was intentional or not. It probably wasn't, but
it could have been. She could fill the. I don't know, but
sometimes the curtains are just red.
Yeah.
However, if you can make a good enough argument for it, I'll believe your version.
I'll believe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the whole point of like media and like films and games
and the show as well.
Like that.
In the show,
yeah, exactly.
The camera comes swooping in. You see her drinking tea out on the steps and whatnot. She goes inside, pours herself like a top up and whatnot, and we go past her into the bedroom, and we see a red glow, and it's her floating in the air, reading from the Book of the Damned, The Dark Hold, and doing all kinds of magic stuff. And some of the shapes look very Doctor Strange-esque.
Well, she's learning magic. This is the important thing. She knows she's not lacking power. She's lacking knowledge.
And I think she's doing the same astral projection that Doctor Strange did as well.
She's making
I never even thought of that, man.
Yeah, George. Yeah, that's
what the fuck?
And we zoom in super close, and we get closer, and all we hear in the background very faintly and getting a little bit louder, Mom, help us, Mom.
God.
Cut to black.
I got goosebumps again. Oh, we're gonna get to Wanda beef out whatever's happening. It's definitely Mephisto, isn't it?
That's the thing. I took that as now she's got extra knowledge. She's got this book. She's gonna actually try and pull soul pieces and use them, and
that's how she'll be the villain.
That's a good theory.
Possibly.
That's a really good theory.
Yeah. That's a really good theory. And also, remember how I said to you, we was talking about Mephisto possibly being a villain in this show. And I was like...
There's not enough time for this.
Yeah, I don't feel like... It's too soon. It's too soon to set up a big bad like that. Especially because the this whole phase has just started. It's too soon. And if they do tease it at the end, then I can totally see 2 movies down the line, 3 movies down the line, the devil, Mephisto, comes and fights. And I was like, yes, I can see it.
So do you guys think in Multiverse of Madness that it'll be Wanda fighting Strange, or will she be like fighting alongside him?
I
hope maybe because I want to see him team up. Like that's all I want, man.
I think she's good. I think she's learned her
Wanda
lesson.
Is not a villain.
Yeah.
I think what they're going to angle for is that she gets to the point where, and this sounds villainous, but if you think about it, like she'll get to a position of knowledge and power where regular people just kind of seem like ants, not in a negative way, but like when you are that much not above but like separated from people.
a god and normal people.
She's almost like a god.
Functionally, yeah. Like she can literally create.
She's like a
things out of
demigod.
nothing, yeah. That
Yeah.
it's very easy to do things and not take into consideration the effect on the little people, or to argue for the ends justify the means stuff, and that can be presented as villainous or evil without that person or character actually being evil. I don't think she's a good villain for Strange.
Sorry, you finish what you're going to say. Is it?
Basically, I think it's not ideal to have Strange beefing out other magic users. Doesn't work very well, in my opinion. And also, she's Wanda Maximoff. She'll smash him.
Yeah,
we already know that the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
But this is Wanda Maximoff, who is the Scarlet Witch. That she'll smash him. It's not even close.
She would. As much as I love Doctor Strange, she would absolutely just fucking.
She would.
I don't think she's ever going to go near villainous ever again.
I agree.
I think she's going to...
I hope not. I
think she's just going to bring back her kids. It's going to cause a bunch of stuff to happen.
Yeah.
But everyone's going to completely
redeem
be like, understand what she's doing. And they're going to deal with the consequences. They're all going to team up in other movies. And it's just going to be... I did this magic. Okay, I did something wrong. I didn't realize I was doing something wrong. But now we have the devil after us. All of us fight the devil and try to save the kids if we can, because it's life at the end of the day.
It's a theme of her character now that she inadvertently does things wrong. Like with joining Hydra. That was her first
chaos
and
magic.
Then blowing up. What was it? She blew up that bomb and then it killed loads of people or something like that.
Yeah. When she was, what was that? That guy suicide bombed himself, but then pulled it up next to the building. Don't know why he didn't go the other way, but okay.
Not only that,
exactly.
But Doctor Strange, his like canon thing is getting in all these misunderstandings. Like he does it with Iron Man and Pete on the ship, going towards Thanos' homeworld. He does it with Thor and Loki in their hideout, right? Where they're not sure if they are on the same side, right?
Yeah.
And so this can be a thing where Wanda does a thing and brings Mephisto into the world or something. Like Mephisto.
Doctor Strange shows up and he's like, what the fuck what's going on?
And so they're it looks like they're opposing each other, but Wanda doesn't really know what she did. He knows she's the cause of something, but doesn't know what. And so they're butting heads, but she isn't the villain.
I think they have like a mini fight, but then soon they'll realize that they're not actually against each other.
Agreeing, like we
exactly like we do many times.
I'd love to see a little fight between him, and Wanda just fucks him, and he's like, "What?"
That would be fucking cool.
That would be sick.
That'd be cool. There you go.
That would be amazing.
Oh boy! So quick roundup, because we are going very long.
Yeah.
Quick roundup of how you felt about the entirety of WandaVision itself. How did you feel about everything?
Take it away.
I can't rank it. I can't give it a number, but I fucking really enjoyed it. I think it's a really good start to this run of Disney Plus shows and this new phase of the MCU. Like they did it so well. I was blown away by how this concept gripped me, because it seems so dumb on paper. It's like fucking sitcoms, and then every episode it changes and there's this underlying narrative, but it's that underlying mystery that completely grips you in, and the way they use the conventions of sitcoms from different eras and then mix it with traditional camera angles and movie shots and stuff like that. It's just brilliant. It's a breath of fresh air, and a breath of fresh air in the MCU. I can't recommend it enough, honestly.
I really liked it. It was absolutely great. It was. I was very hesitant going into the Disney Plus shows. I was like, what can we really expect? It's the first time they were doing it, and all we had previously was the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We saw how that started. That was bad. But then
it was good for like a few seasons, and then it just they decanonized it.
That the budget was really, really low in the beginning of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
The first season was cheesy.
Exactly. It was competing with Arrow and Flash and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I thought, is this going to be that? But then we didn't think, this is after they made Endgame.
It's competing with The Witcher, not with...
And it's after they just made nearly $3 billion off of their last movie. Yeah. Surely they're going to put some budget into it. And it turns out they had excellent writing, they had excellent budget, and they did it all perfectly. And it's not just a one-off thing off to the side, like decanonized like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and whatnot. This is directly going to tie into it. You best watch this, and this is going to mean
you got to watch
something.
this if you want to understand the story of the new, the coming films.
This is what they said about about Captain Marvel. You need to watch this to understand Endgame. But it's actually true this time.
And it didn't.
Yeah,
wasn't true.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it totally wasn't true. You didn't need to watch that.
This one is people are going to say, wait, who is this Mephisto guy? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, how did he even come to be? What's happened to Wanda? She's changed so much. No. You need to watch the shows.
Yeah.
I think we're like in the same lane, but I'm off to another side.
Right.
This is the only show I was actually interested in.
Oh, really?
And yeah, like for example, everybody's super hyped for Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's the one I was quite worried about, not knowing anything about the shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this was
Don't
the one
tell
I was.
Tyler.
Well, because we didn't know and we'd seen the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Hey, man.
And the only one that seemed like a really interesting concept to me was WandaVision.
Because it's magic, it's a bit more like Vision as well,
and
whereas
also,
the other
like,
one's two dudes.
Also, it's this concept of like you have Wanda Maximoff, like the one we saw from the show, and Paul Bettany, and they're in this thing about sitcoms. Like these are both very talented actors. They're high level. These are main figureheads for Hollywood, and two of the biggest movies ever in the biggest franchise ever. So this can't just be a nothing little project. At least that's what I was hoping, and it turned out to be really incredibly well written. Other than Pietro,
yes,
which I am really genuinely.
Yeah, that was an anomaly.
I will say, I wanted to give the show about a 10.
Yeah.
But genuinely, because of Pietro, lying to us about that, I'm going to give it like an 8.5.
I was okay with the thing like, oh, she poofed him out of magic and whatnot. Cool, I get it.
Fine,
that's awesome.
That would be okay.
It turns out he's nobody. I would have liked something else, but that's just me wanting shit. That's me being greedy. You reduced him to even less than nobody to a dick joke.
Yeah.
I did put a tweet out as well just to get gauge people's reactions on Quicksilver. I said, so how many of you guys are happy with the way Quicksilver turned out? I'm not gonna lie, I love WandaVision, but this is one thing that actually got to me. And 66% of people were like, nah, that's not okay.
I'm really not.
And then people were 33% saying, no, I'm fine with it. But majority not happy.
I'm really angry because this show, and I mean, let me know what you think, both of you, but I feel like this show is like a perfect study on how to do writing, how to like write a show, write meaningful character development, meaningful stories, meaningful arcs, and be playful with it as well. And then it's ruined by the fact that they put in this character they knew. It wasn't like a misdirect. That was a season 8 of Game of Thrones move, where it just doesn't. It just does not fit. And I would have genuinely given this like a 9.5, maybe a 10. I really feel like it was basically perfect.
Isak Manny writes into patreon.com/conversations just like you guys can to have your voices heard, and he literally just writes, can't believe they turned Quicksilver into a dick joke.
Yeah.
That's just that encapsulates that. It's
ridiculous, bro.
Ridiculous,
So
get it?
Hey!
We got it there, we got it, guys. But yeah, let's read a few of these comments out because we are going long here and we've got a lot of comments to read out. Joe also writes into patreon.com/conversations just like you guys can, and he says, I cried so many tears during this episode. I honestly felt like the scene with the family and the house, and the fact that we knew they were going to go, for me, made it so much more emotional than Tony Stark's death.
Oh, now I won't go that far because that's where men cry. That's where legends cry.
I don't disagree.
It's close. It's up there.
I'm not saying I do agree, but Tony, he had like the full complete arc. He was surrounded by his friends. He did the heroic sacrifice,
and it was for a meaning. Exactly,
it was perfect.
Yeah.
You couldn't get any more perfect than that. It was
very good, but also because of that, it was a much cleaner break. And we're like, well, that's the cost of saving everyone, right? Yeah. It's like a much smaller, much more, and this is what I mean when I say romantic. It's a much more personal, emotional scale, where Wanda has to lose everything for the third time, plus 2 children. To set a few thousand people free. Frick those people. Frick them.
Can we give Wanda a break? Can we give Wanda a break, please?
Yeah, she's been taking everyone's trauma and just absorbing it. Like she's a tank.
So I definitely feel like this show was sadder, like in a good way, was sadder than Tony's death. I don't know if it was more impactful. Also, we were in the cinema and like watching it, and then Pete, but both brilliant.
Yeah.
Honestly, after Endgame, I felt like a different person, man.
Yeah.
It was pretty. It was pretty emotional.
It was pretty.
I will be honest, so I don't really do the crying thing very much, so it's not for me. But
You got to let out
Neither
them
do
emotions.
I. Like,
man.
I don't cry an awful lot. It's very rare that I'll cry at a
Sure
game
you
or a
don't.
movie or a
Sure you
TV
don't.
show.
I do.
but-
I've watched your Horsey and Fox streams. I've seen you cry.
yeah, I can cry to Kingdom
People-
Hearts like easily, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
people said I was a
Fuck off.
sociopath because I knew the date of the last time I cried.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
did. You
Holy
pulled out the date,
shit.
and people were
Yeah.
like, "Shit, how the? That's weird."
Yeah,
He continues to say, "I love the series, and I think the acting from Olsen and Bettany was absolutely first class.
incredible.
Love the character development that was explored, and Catherine Hahn, the lady,
Yeah.
the Ains right
Is she on
there."
her own?
that's a name.
Catherine
There you go.
Hahn Solo.
Han Solo. She's by herself. Get it, guys? Because that's how you put her. Anyway,
I
that's
hate
great.
it.
Perfect. Perfect. Right.
She was
right there.
brilliant, and what a milf! Oh my god.
Oh yeah. It goes. Catherine Hahn was amazing. I hope she returns for more of Phase 4. 10 out of 10 for me. He says.
I think we'll see her again, definitely.
God, I hope so. She was an incredible villain
Yeah.
because she wasn't like super evil just to be evil.
Yeah.
Right? She was evil for, or not even necessarily evil, but like against the people we were supporting for her own selfish reasons and for like a presumably some bigger picture thing.
Yeah.
Like getting rid of the person that destroys the world. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Not a bad idea.
Potentially keeping back, if we're right about the Mephisto thing, which I've been saying since the first episode. You remember?
Yeah,
that.
exactly. I was saying Hydra stupidly,
What an
like a
idiot.
freaking moron.
What a freaking moron.
Whoever says Hydra, just what an idiot.
What a
right there.
dickhead.
That's the thing right
What
there.
dickhead.
Wait, I lost you, didn't I? Sorry
I
about
was
that.
completely wrong because it's totally right. Every single thing I said was wrong.
Javi Darian writes in. He says, "What's up, bros / listeners? What listeners / watchers, I should say." He goes, "Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of the ending. It seemed a bit abrupt to me. I didn't understand why Vision died. I thought he had more or less taken over White Vision, who existed outside of the Hex. Well, we don't know yet. It could still happen. Also, they wrote off Quicksilver as some random side character, which I hope they change.
That I hate.
You
That I
can't
hate.
change it now, man.
Can't
It's
be
all
changed.
done. It's all done.
I mean, I would have preferred him to just use the original Pietro, but
Yeah, why not?
I don't know why they fucking
Or someone
used
totally different.
Evan
Well,
Peters.
clearly, they have a reason they brought back Evan Peters, right?
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
Of madness.
Yeah, but he's already boner. Like, I don't know what the
yeah,
fuck.
it's not gonna
They've
happen.
already said he's boner, man. I don't know what the fuck else they can
No,
do with
The
it.
ship has sailed.
Yeah.
We have to all now make do with that and just
If they
try to
retcon
ignore it.
If they retcon it now, I'll be even more angry because it means they've ruined WandaVision.
You could have
I
done it in
feel
the first
so
place.
bad. I feel so bad for Quicksilver fans. Like
me too.
they have been shat on
Why do
time and time
Marvel
again.
hate
X-Men has
Quicksilver?
delivered pretty. X-Men delivered pretty well with Quicksilver,
Yeah,
but
He was
like,
the only good thing in first. Was it First Class?
yeah.
First class.
And now they've shat on that.
Was it First Class or was no Days of Future
Days
Past?
of Future Past.
Yeah,
He was
Days
the
of Future
best
Past,
thing,
that's what it was,
both
yeah.
visually and like in the thing, he was the best thing.
Apparently, he was in Dark Phoenix as well, but I never watched that. 'cause
I
it was
refused to
terrible.
watch it. I refused.
Well, I stopped watching the fucking X-Men films around like the Wolverine. I still haven't watched Logan yet, which is
Hey,
actually
Logan's
a
incredible.
cardinal
Logan,
sin.
you need,
Logan something else.
Oh, I will watch
you need
Logan.
to,
I
like,
will.
I would say watch it tonight. It's so good.
I
It's so
really
good.
fucking. Where can I actually watch it? Like, I have no fucking idea.
I think
Buy
on
it
the
on- I
don't think it's on
Seven
Netflix.
Seas somewhere. They have it on the Seven Seas. If you got there's a few
Yeah,
enterprising.
if you're a free enterprising
Yeah,
sailor
yeah,
of the
yeah.
internet waves,
What
you'll
the
be able to
fuck
find.
is that?
our me timbers.
Yeah,
I don't. We can't say the word,
in
mate.
In the bay of free enterprising.
Oh, I see what you
Yeah.
mean.
He's got it. He's got it. He's a
Yeah,
sharp
I've
lad, he
come
is.
done, bro. Hey,
a
I
sharp
know what
lad.
you mean. Yeah, I've sailed those seas many a time.
There you go, mate. There you go.
that film.
Filthy
Yeah.
PC peasant, right?
Right, PC peasant.
God.
He doesn't want to do it because he'll get PC AIDS.
Oh yeah. Don't wanna
Unlike
do that.
us, Mac Master Race.
Mac Master Race.
Disgusting. Comment down in the comment section below. Yeah, do you use a PC or Mac?
Everyone, you know what to say.
Yeah.
Hashtag Eddie was right.
PC.
Hashtag Mac Master
PC.
Race.
That's right.
Because nobody uses
Um,
Mac because they cost a fortune.
To quickly wrap up, Logan though, it's the only time we really see Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's incredibly
Yeah.
well done. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. It's another great like. You
It's a
like The
different
Last
thing.
of
It's
Us?
like out of it.
It's Joel and
exactly.
Ellie. It's Joel and Ellie, but they're mutants instead. It's freaking great.
Yeah, it sounds sick. I don't know why I haven't watched it, but I've managed to dip spoilers all these years, just like I did with The Last of Us
playing
1.
Bloody Kingdom Hearts. Stop your shit.
Exactly! Playing games, do some gaming!
You're playing on a PC, there is no gaming. Anyway, Monica Dambo's character, this is Janet continuing. Monica Dambo's character's powers seem a bit random. She can't she can see certain electromagnetic waves, but she also can stop bullets by going through her. So it was a bit odd. We need more clarification.
Yeah, it was a bit flip-floppy. It was a bit flip-floppy. I didn't know what the fuck she was or what's going on there. Odd. Obviously, I don't know about her actual character from the comics, so I don't know either.
I don't know much about Photon either.
I just hope they don't go the route of Captain Marvel, because the idea is that she becomes the next Captain Marvel or something. But anyway, I hope they don't go that route where she's just like, she just does everything. She's all powerful. No. She's everything.
She's cool.
It doesn't mean anything.
Sick.
I'm pretty sure her power is something to do with absorbing and then reusing power that comes in at
Interesting.
Her. That's why.
But her name's Photon, isn't it? That's what she is in the comics, isn't it?
But she can see magic. I don't know how it works, man. Anyway,
I guess because she saw that weird like trippy shit when she went through the hex in that episode. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
He continues. He says, "It seems like they were setting up far more for the show than hasn't been followed up on. Yeah. Still, I'm very excited for Doctor Strange movie. The first one is one of my favorites. I like Doctor Strange as well. I will say, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was supposed to come out like 1 month after this, and then COVID pushed it all the way to next year."
Oh,
that's painful right there to think about.
So if I haven't waited long enough for another Doctor Strange movie, what are they doing? It's been 5 years.
I'll say I like the character. I'm not a big fan of his movie. I just didn't find it particularly well done.
That's fine. Everyone.
I like it for its journey that he goes on as a character. Like it's got
Mads Mikkelsen in it. That's the shit, bro. Mads Mikkelsen.
That's true. It does. Yeah, it does. He's fucking sick.
Dan writes in and he says, series overall, 5 out of 6 Infinity Stones. I like it. It's
fair enough.
Good one. That's
and creative.
Finally on Patreon, Superwhale Ben writes in and he says, overall, I thought the series was incredible. It was completely different from everything we have seen in the MCU before, and that's what made it a great start to the new saga of the MCU. I thought the acting throughout was phenomenal, not just outstanding Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, who is one of my favorite actors now, but also the whole cast. Elizabeth Olsen had to juggle so much with her character the whole series, but I think she did it incredibly, which we agree she did fantastically. The show really did a really good job, if not anything, a really good job of not giving anything away. That's the word right there. Too much too early on. I never felt like the ending was clear. This meant it was really fun for us all to theorize each week. This show is all about that, which may have been my favorite part of the show. That's, again, the fact that it was week to week and we all got to come here every week and talk about it was really, really cool. So the show did a really good job. Oh, sorry, I read that bit. Controversially, I'm actually relieved that Evan Peters Quicksilver was actually fake. That bit's not too bad. It's okay to be fake. I really didn't want them just bringing back Fox's X-Men over to the MCU. Sure, the cameo was fun, but I'm looking forward to reintroducing the X-Men with new cast and new stories, which is also good. I think that's the way they should go.
That's probably the way to go.
I think so. Just like the Fantastic Four, don't bring in the Fantastic Four from their universe.
No, they need to bring back the Human Torch as Chris Evans. That's what they need to do.
What would be funny?
Don't ever talk about that again.
What would be funny is to have Doctor Strange as the Sorcerer Supreme going through different timelines, and we see current Chris Evans as Johnny Storm
just randomly
flaming on, and he'd be like, no, and
then back up.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny.
Do it, guys.
That'd be
do
funny.
It.
Please do funny cameos when you can. It's a multiverse film.
Funny cameos would be good. Making Quicksilver a dick joke,
not so great.
Yeah, not so
the
much.
way they did it, not great. Not loving it.
Yeah.
He says the show did something incredible. It somehow made me somewhat excited for Captain Marvel 2. If Monica Rambeau's going to be in it, then I'm excited as well.
I'm so
That'd
down.
be cool.
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I actually really like Monica.
She's
So
really
I reckon she'll be a redeeming part of another Captain Marvel
Yes,
film, because I'm not
facts.
really gagging for one, because it's
Yeah.
It was
didn't like the first one. It was
I
very
mean,
good.
Monica Rambeau just walking through the hex had more of a hero arc than Captain Marvel did in
Yeah.
that whole thing. So
Burn on
Captain
you.
Marvel's was just, I got powers now. Oh, I
That's it.
destroy things.
There we go. And I'll just use
Yeah.
them against ordinary people who don't have powers as
Yeah.
well, because
Yeah.
that's how much of a hero I am.
this guy's being a little bit socially awkward. I'll use my superpowers and steal
Yeah.
his vehicle.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
I mean, I fucking fell asleep halfway through that film in the cinema.
There was
Like,
nothing worth staying
that's
up
how
for.
bad it is.
So rough.
That's
Anyway.
how bad it is.
He goes, I'm looking forward to seeing how Monica fits into it. Final bit here. The scene when Wanda had to destroy the hex was heartbreaking. Of course, I kept my dignity and I did not cry. Sure you didn't. I'm a
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Eyes. But anyway, it was actually quite hard to watch and was so sad to see her say goodbye to her kids and Vision. I'm sure Eddie, as a father, this is so good. Eddie, as a father, you could not imagine doing this, and I bet it hit you in a completely different way. It really
There you
did,
go.
man. It
I'm
was
not
something
crying.
right
You're
there.
crying.
I think people will know this now after playing God of War, and I said that game has now hit me in a different way because of my father.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
really
There's
cool.
one thing that I just remembered before we go to Discord comments. I think it was Javi who said he wasn't sure about what happened with White Vision.
Yeah.
Like, is he Vision now? I think they pretty well covered that, where he touches Vision's head,
Yeah.
it goes yellow, and then the blue overtakes it. So it
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
our Vision. It'll be a new Vision.
But it is
I
a
don't-
vision. Yeah.
It's
I
not
don't-
100%. It's not the current Vision that we know.
That's the
He's
thing.
not coming back as himself. He has to go and find himself and decide who he is now. Would be
Perhaps
my guess.
the comic books say that he becomes nothing. He becomes just an android that is not Vision.
I hope they don't do that, because
That's
what
really
an
bad.
absolute waste of Paul Bettany. What an
Exactly.
absolute waste.
But I got, from my interpretation, he got all the memories back. Eventually, he will become Vision again. That's how I see it. Ah, man, only time will tell. Only time will tell. Ben finishes off and he says, they did it. They even did even an android can cry moment from the comics, which which I freaking adored. Finally, I want to say how relieved
Good
I am
moment.
that Wanda is somehow bringing her kids back. It would have been such a waste of introducing Speed and Wiccan just for them to be killed off. I can't wait for them to be back and be in for the Young Avengers, and that be a thing. Sorry for a fat Diogo essay. I just wanted to get all my thoughts out there. Thanks. Shegri. I don't know how he says that, but can't wait to watch this 5-hour-long episode. One thing, that was something that we said. We said, no, the kids surely aren't going to die because they've cast these perfect children and put so much effort
actually
into
pretty
them
good, yeah.
being into good and being into these powers. They've set up so surely they can't die, and then they die, and I was like, whoa!
I had the theory, which I had a couple of good theories, which I could have gone with any of them. But
Yeah.
one
Oh
of the
yeah, for
theories-
sure. All good theories you had.
Well,
yeah.
a couple in particular with Vision and the kids that
yeah, yeah.
the risk was going to be to get rid of the hex would mean saying goodbye to the whole family.
Yeah.
And she's willing to do it, and she does do it, but the kids remain,
Yeah.
and so that like the self-sacrifice actually paid off in a way. Like she really has the kids, and that's the legacy of Vision as well.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
No, they didn't. They didn't. And that's
I
all
think
of our
it's better
Patreon
they
comments.
didn't.
Thank you for that. So, George, go on.
I was gonna say I think it's better they didn't give her a kids and they took that away as well, because she's got a lot more developing to do. I think.
I was going to say, it's not like
Before
it was
she gets
bad the
them.
way it came out, right? It was good.
I definitely feel like having her kids now is definitely motivation for her to go a little bit more Hulk in smashing her way towards the kids, rather than like gently trying to figure out where they are.
Yeah.
Right? She had the kids, she's lost them once. There's no way she's giving this up.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
and that's
no,
also
she's
why I
not.
think she can't face Strange in any meaningful like villain fight, because she'll dude, you try and
She'll kill him. He'd be
she'll
dead.
kill him. She'll kill him. Of course
Yeah.
she would. But
He'd be
also,
dead again.
Yeah, you're talking about taking a mother whose kids were killed, that she had to do it, and now she has the chance to save them. Like, she'll just delete him,
Yeah.
you know, if he's in the way, so that you can't do that. And I also don't think it's appropriate to make a grieving mother your villain, you know?
Oh,
A
yeah.
little bit rough.
Yeah, that's not a choice I would make.
No.
Writing choice. No.
Should we do some Discord comments?
Yes, please. If you want to read a couple, because I've kind of done a lot of the
You have.
Patreon ones.
Gerg, why don't you read the comments? Because you spend a lot of time on our Discord.
Yeah, George is always in our Discord server.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm
Always.
always in your Discord, boys.
Freaking
Always.
Gaming says, I freaking loved the shit out of this one, talking about this episode.
Lovely.
Yeah,
we
good.
like it.
Tier T said, I loved the show. The last episode was a little bit disappointing, mostly because the Doctor Strange 2 is a week away.
I think he hasn't seen the updated timeline.
Oh God!
It's sorry to break it to you this way, T. Oh God!
If this is the way he is.
Oh no, this is it.
Oh,
God!
Oh no, we broke it to him just like out of the blue, just said it.
We didn't even gently come here,
Like,
son, come here.
No, your dog isn't on a farm. He died.
Yeah.
No!
God, yeah. I just wanted White Vision and Wanda to talk at the end. But he just fricked off somewhere. I still feel like Wanda reading the Darkhold will ruin one Earth somewhere in the multiverse. That's the name, Multiverse of Madness. Or maybe a villain is posing as her kid, so she would free him. Agatha was a meh villain. So was the Hayward dude. I'm not mad about Pietro since they said they won't use Fox's X-Men. Also, I didn't expect multiverse reveal since that happens in Loki.
Oh, okay. All right.
Interesting that you're not mad about Pietro. Fair enough. I mean, I'm very salty about it.
Lots of salt.
I am
I'm not mad about it. It's just pointless. Like it's just pointless.
I'm
For me, it
because-
detracted. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
pissed.
angry because it was a nothing move, but it was such a Game of Thrones season 8. Why was it in there?
Yeah, they like made out that it was this crazy thing.
Right.
Oh, cliffhanger at the end of an episode.
They have Darcy say like she recast Pietro. Like what?
Yeah, like it's what does that even fucking mean?
Right, and then. The interesting thing to me is not digging Agatha. I get Hayward. Hayward's not really meant to be a villain. He's just meant to be like antagonizing.
We had the theory that they were going to make him the good guy at the end.
Yeah.
And we were like, they make us hate him so much, and then they're going to make him the good guy. Watch.
No,
He
no,
they do.
no.
redeems
Shoots
himself.
kids.
No, he just he starts
Instead,
shooting
they're
kids.
like, no, he's irredeemable now.
He literally does probably the worst thing any human
It's
can do.
literally,
I want to be in the meeting when they pitched that, and then Hayward, the douchebag,
yeah.
pulls out a gun on some kids. Whoa!
Like he's
Put it
worse
in,
than
put it in.
most MCU villains because he's trying to kill kids. Like at least
Right.
like Obadiah Stane or whatever the fuck his name is, isn't
Yeah.
like oh
Right.
fuck it out, I want to shoot some kids up.
Tony!
Like yeah, he's just trying to get the art correct.
Right,
Right, he's fine.
It's a business move.
Yeah, exactly.
Juicy Spicy Sauce says, good but disappointing. Most of the theories didn't mean shit, and it would have helped if Paul Bettany didn't overhype that cameo. I agree, but
He's mad. He's mad.
I agree, but I also find it hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Just don't worry.
Yeah.
They'll get to doing cool stuff later.
That I think was funny, but the Pietro thing, which was supposed to be funny, wasn't.
No.
Do you know how ironic is that?
Yeah, innit?
Most of the episode was alright, but I loved Vision versus Vision, saying goodbye to Wanda's family and the credit scenes. I think Agatha was a pretty bad villain. She ended up being like a stereotypical evil cackling witch, and I didn't really follow most of the stuff between her and Wanda. The Quicksilver / Ralph Boner thing was pretty annoying. They could have done so much with it, and they ended with that. I'm guessing Monica is going to either meet with Nick Fury or Talos, probably Nick, because we know he's probably in space. Yep. I also guess Wanda is now trying to find out how to bring her family back, but Doctor Strange is going to tie into it because his theme plays in the final credit. Oh, I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that either.
I didn't know. That's cool as fuck.
God damn,
Yeah,
that's good.
Sick.
That's some
That was
attention to detail.
that was 3 Doctor Strange hits there. It was the
Yeah.
astral projection thing, all the shapes and stuff that look
Yeah.
very Doctor Strange,
Sorcerer
and then that
Supreme
missing book.
reference.
the missing book. So 4. So
Yeah,
then and then also there's 4 things. Like
Yeah.
like, did you guys get it? This is going to Doctor Strange. Did you get it? Did you?
Now,
Okay, good.
I'm excited, man.
Final and very good point. I don't care about any of that though. All I want is a Jimmy Woo spin-off series, and I totally frickin' agree.
That's all we need.
I want the buddy cop.
Yeah.
Him and Darcy.
Yeah.
Actually, I do love Darcy. To be fair, I won't complain about more Darcy.
Darcy's great
but,
as well. Big personality.
But really, would he have his own fucking show?
Mate,
Yeah,
it needs to be,
absolutely.
Really?
They need to change every movie to now, so every TV show to now include Jimmy Woo.
Facts.
It needs to
He's
be
in all of them, and
Falcon
he does
and the
sleight
Winter
of hand
Soldier
card
and Jimmy
tricks in
Woo.
every single one
It
of
needs
them.
to be Loki and Jimmy Woo.
Facts.
It needs to be what other TV shows are coming up.
I don't remember, but all of them plus and Jimmy Woo.
Exactly. They need to recast. They need to
She-Hulk.
redo Black Widow's movie as well. Black
Recast.
Widow and Jimmy Woo.
It should just be Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo. Done.
Yeah, like instead of Black, just put Jimmy
Yeah.
Woo in instead of ScarJo.
That's what exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. I could buy that.
Right. Josh says, The series finale was great. For some reason I read that as night vision. The original Vision fight was great, and I loved how we saw Vision fully use his phase ability. That was actually really useful.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was really good. The way they handled White Vision was great and worked very well. Seeing Wanda finally become Scarlet Witch was very cool. It was very cool.
Yeah.
The
That moment, ooh.
it was brilliant. And seeing it, it was the shot that she saw in the Mind Stone. It was freaking brilliant.
Yeah, sick.
The post-credit scenes were great. I assume Monica is going to meet Fury in the space station that we saw at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yep.
With the second post-credit scene, it really interested me as Wanda was using the astral plane.
Yeah.
This makes me think she spent time with Doctor Strange between the end of the episode and the post-credit scene.
I think she's just that powerful that she picked it
Yeah,
up.
I took it to
I
be
mean,
that
what
she
I
learned
was
it from the
hoping
book.
was...
Yeah, because that's how Doctor
Yeah.
Strange learned it, but from a
Yeah.
different book, but still.
Yeah, how
picked
does
it
she get her... Is she reading the Darkhold
Yes.
in the end there? How does
Yeah.
she fucking get that? That's meant to be
She
like
beat-
some sacred
she just-
artifact.
I think she beat
Agatha.
Agatha and then just took it, I think.
Yeah, Agatha had it.
Yeah.
Why does Agatha have it?
She stole it. So do you remember?
Where?
Do you remember
From?
the flashback to Salem where she's being like burnt at the stake
Yes.
by the other witches? They accused
Yes.
her of stealing knowledge above her state.
Oh, so she was taking the Darkhold.
Yeah.
So she stole the Darkhold.
Oh.
And also,
I
if you go back to
see.
Doctor Strange the movie, if you look on the walls with the, the book, one of the books that Doctor Strange takes, there's a missing book from
Yeah.
from that whole like wall of books right there.
Oh my fucking
sick.
god!
and that's the actual bloody book.
See, I was thinking like I didn't even realize that was a thing in Doctor Strange. I was like,
Yeah.
the Darkhold from Agents of Shield. But my mind was just zoned in on Agents of
Trust.
Shield and like
Yeah.
go
Ghost
back to
Rider
that
and
movie, and you're
stuff,
gonna see it.
and-
Like,
It's
that's
cool.
the freaking book. It's
That's
missing.
cool.
It's
It's
fucking
been missing
10
to
be
movies
honest
ago.
of years, right?
Actually, wait, can I just say one more
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
You know when it pans around the corner when it shows Wanda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This actually sounds ridiculous now I'm re-saying it, but as I was watching it, I thought that instead of Wanda being there, it would be like one of the Doctor Strange's portals, because I wanted Doctor Strange so bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, there's a glowing thing around the corner. What is that? Oh, it's just fucking
Like the
Wanda.
ember
It's not-
wheel and whatnot. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I'm such a Doctor Strange bitch. Like, I want more of that so badly.
I do agree. You are a
Exactly,
bitch.
yeah,
Yeah, I
fact.
agree. with that.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I took it to be that she took the Darkhold from Agatha, and she was
Yeah.
reading it, and in her learning of the extra stuff that's whatever's in there, she learnt the astral projection. She's using that to do multiple things at once, and learning and continuing to learn and gain
Yeah.
power and stuff.
It was ominous.
So sorry, 1 second, where are we?
Ooh, where were we?
We totally lost it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think she met up with Strange in between this.
No, I think it was just her
Yeah,
learning that
that's,
as well.
That's the way I took it.
Yeah.
It could be. It seems Wanda will be able to bring her sons back through using the Darkhold.
That's what it seems.
I'm very excited to see how this will lead into Doctor Strange 2. I'm also interested to see as to what they'll be doing with the White Vision. I also want to know what happens to Jimmy and Darcy after the show. The only thing in the whole series that disappointed me was the aerospace engineer reveal. Wow.
Oh, that we completely wiped that from our minds.
Yeah.
Did you feel pissed about this, George? The aerospace engineer.
Monica Dambo's contact in Sword.
What?
So there was this one scene where she needs to build a lab so she can enter the hex and not be affected by everything. And she's like, it needs to be this thallium, it needs to be this cadmium and stuff like that. And she goes, I've got a guy.
I've got a contact.
I got a contact, someone who can make this for us really quick.
Aerospace
And they make it, and like an episode later, it's like, oh, he said it, so it's ready for me. Goes over to some random spot near the hex and goes, meets up with
So we were all expecting it to be like Reed Richards.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Mr. Incredible. Like,
Beast from X-Men.
Oh,
perhaps.
Yeah,
yeah, like
that's
someone
funny.
actually cool.
And then
yeah.
she turns around and goes, Major Goodner.
Yeah, it's just somebody.
It's just somebody that
Some
we've
woman.
never seen before and never
Yeah,
see again.
Some woman.
Actually,
was
looking back on it,
disappointing.
there's a few
Yeah.
things they really
Dropped the
didn't-
ball on.
They did not measure the temperature of the room.
Whoopsie.
with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben the Nun Fricker says the finale was a bit disappointing, but I laughed my arse off at the boner joke.
Yeah, he loved it. I mean, I laughed at it. And then afterwards I was like, oh, fuck
I
that
hated
shit.
it.
I'm
I
sorry.
hated it.
I
But
laughed
of
because I
course,
heard
Ben. Of course, this guy is
Ben.
the dude that cracks up at the boner joke. Of course you did.
this is so on brand for Ben, and
It
I love
so
it.
is,
I love
yeah.
it. Let me know if you want to read it. Yeah, I was gonna say. Let me read it. Do you want me to read Diogo's one?
Yeah. Frick the essay. Goddamn.
Yeah, Diogo with his essays. Here we go. All right. So Pietro was Ralph and fake. Ha! Suck it, you losers. First of all, I said Pietro was fake. I did say that. I love that Vision defeated Vision, not by muscles, but by his mind and intellect.
Because it's powered by the Mind Stone. Oh my god.
Mind Stone. I get it. We get it right there. Because mind. It uses his mind right there. So that Vision is just off piecing his history. I was going to say piecing his history back together, it seems. I don't think he'll be the same Vision when he returns. I think he'll be a bit of the old, but a bit of the new. Dude has to ponder the philosophy, he's got to do that. Wanda's new suit looks 3 of my agreeing emotes right there. It looks sick. She looks legit a badass. I agree. So good. Everything about the final moments made me bawl my eyes out. Even Wanda saying how she doesn't understand her powers but hopes to in the future, just like that Vision said in Civil War to her. Oh yeah, because he doesn't understand like what he's been given and oh god. Okay. They retconned the Darkhold from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, because it was just a shit show.
But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is decanonized anyway. So
exactly. It was lost to time anyway.
It was good. It was good for a few seasons, but
I was in it for a few seasons as well, and she's learning from it, and she hears her kids. Oh my god, Sheps' shocked face. Epic tie to Doctor Strange. Interesting that she's stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme, so maybe there will be some tension between the two. That's what we're hoping for. Just a hint of tension, not like
a little bit, and then friendship.
Doctor Strange finds out she has the missing book. Well, that's my book. Yeah, but possession is 9/10 of the law, bitch.
Exactly.
You can see that there's a lot of ways they can have tension and be at odds, but not be villains to each other.
Yeah, it's not personal. It's just Doctor Strange, it's a conflict of interests.
Doctor Strange started to beef out basically the galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy on that ship before even asking questions. He was like, "Fucking."
He won't make that mistake again. I'm sure.
After all, it's like, wait, you're from Earth? Jesus Christ! God damn it! So he could easily go off on that when he sees the book.
Yeah, definitely.
Hayward is such a bitch. He's a bit of a cunt. A bit. Jesus Christ.
A bit.
But exactly, he's a lot of a cunt. But
we established that.
But he just went full-blown villain when he was trying to shoot the kids and his own agent as well. That's right. Monica was going to get shot as well.
That's true. What's he doing?
Monica plus scroll scene. Expected it really, he says. Shame my theory about Vision sacrificing his body to the kids was wrong. He had a theory, George, that Vision was going to sacrifice his body so he could...
Make 2 vibranium bodies.
He was going to absorb... White Vision, and then sacrifice himself to make 2 vibranium bodies so the kids could live on in those bodies.
Oh god, that's mental.
That would have been something, sick. But it didn't happen. Sacrificed his body. It was wrong all along. I knew it was a crazy one. I almost thought that Wanda would reduce the hex so it's just her home and that the Vision and the kids could live. Maybe Agnes is their nanny whilst Wanda is away. I mean, she's under her spell, so possibly. And I knew the kids were fake. Shut your goddamn mouth, you didn't know.
How dare you?
Exactly. We are the ones that come up with the correct theories here, okay?
It's true.
Agnes deserved to be stuck there, and I told you that Dottie was no one. Look, Dottie was a bitch. And she just got recast, she's got her script changed up. It's okay. We knew that all along. Don't worry about it. Really great show. But you were one of the dickheads that was thinking that the postman was Nightmare. Fucking idiot right here.
Some of you guys are dickheads. And let's be honest, the curtains are red because that's the colour the guy picked. All right,
exactly.
Stop looking too far and start, no one else does it. Me and Ed, we just have good takes. We're known from it. So is George.
Exactly. Yeah, well, easy now. Let's not say George is good takes right now. Is it?
Hey, fuck off! You've already said it now.
You can't take it back. Agnes deserves to be. Sorry, I told you that one. Really great show. CGI wasn't as good, but I kind of expected that. But the feels, man, I'm broken here. Really great show. That's what he said.
The highlight of the show was not the fighting; it was the writing.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
Nice change of pace. That was a good.
You need to put that down on a coaster or something.
That's a good little line there.
That's the real key here, I think, and also it's so easy to forget because we've been away from a Marvel movie for 2 years now.
Yeah,
that this isn't a Marvel movie.
And we've regrown our Marvel virginity.
Yeah, exactly. We have.
And they can pound it out of us again,
and we're expecting this huge magnum dong of Thanos because that's the last thing we saw. And
Yeah.
instead,
we got the optimum 1.8 inches.
Exactly. That's a 1.8 vision.
Optimum.
Utterly colorless nightmare feel.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was scary. That's some scary shit.
Yeah.
And I think, like, we all saw that the CG wasn't insane and the fights weren't like endgame quality. They weren't, but it's not endgame.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's very easy to forget it because the writing. I would say the writing, other than Nebula, the writing in this is better than Endgame overall in general.
It's more nuanced. It's much more mysterious.
Yeah, that's it, nuanced.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it.
I'll take this essay here. Joe says, "Good show, met ending, not enough Darcy."
Man's got a good point.
It's solid.
Well, I do love Darcy.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I've got to
Do you want
agree.
to take Aussies?
I'll take Ozzy's one. Didn't feel like the true ending. Some characters just vanished, like Darcy and White Vision.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like Wanda faced enough consequences for her doings. Well, who's gonna tell
Well,
her?
she ran away.
Yeah, but also, even if she stayed there, who's gonna be the one that puts the cuffs on her?
You literally need someone like Vision to do it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I
no
mean,
one's gonna. She's not just gonna go. Take me.
That's
Yeah,
not
go
to
on.
say that. For the record, I'm not saying you're wrong, Ozzy. I'm saying that she literally runs away from the consequences of her actions. That's why the post-credit scene is her in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Exactly.
But also, I mean, she has to. Like,
Yeah.
she can't stick around, or
Yeah.
else that'd be
I'll
shit.
just rejoin society. Don't worry about it, guys.
Also,
It's all's forgiven.
She took a magical nuke
Yeah.
from Agnes. Like, she can't. Yeah.
The consequence of her doing it's too early. It ended too early. He's saying, well, it's a show. I mean, maybe something more will happen later. But I hope the Multiverse of Madness is a direct sequel to the show. Overall, I adore the show for its uniqueness and contrast mystery every episode. Some of the best MCU moments, in my opinion. I agree. Good
pretty
sir.
brilliant.
Right.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. And our
Yeah.
final comment.
Super Dan says, "This episode was awful and a big disappointment."
Oh,
Wow.
wait.
Just kidding.
Oh.
It's pretty solid.
Oh,
and
you had me
still a
there
bit-
for a second.
It's still a bit disappointing in some areas, like with the White Vision and fake Pietro, and even Agnes were all trash plot lines.
Whoa.
Well, let's see
All
what he
of
has to
them?
say.
Go on.
He breaks it down. Fake Pietro was a kick in the dick, and it really had me and many other people disappointed. I would say more than disappointed. I'm a bit pissed. This was a really scummy thing to do. I was talking to Diogo about this, and he said that they had Evan Peters in the show to get people interested in the Quicksilver plotline, which it did do. But in my opinion, I feel like they really hampered the ending for a lot of people, me included as well. In Twitter, Quicksilver was trending, and most of the stuff was negative, and fairly, in my opinion. White Vision versus Vision was cool, and the way Vision beat him,
he says bet, but he means beat. Yeah.
the way Vision beat him was also great, but then he just dips, which is very weird, and he's never talked about again for the rest of the episode.
Well, they'll come back to that, won't they? That's the point of it. It's set up.
Yeah, it's supposed to be set up a mystery and like, what happened? Is he
Again,
Vision? Is he not? What happens here?
It's very easy to forget because this isn't a movie that you don't have to wait for the next movie. Like, ideally, somewhere in episode like 6 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, they'll hear about like there's a White Vision.
Yeah.
There'll be like a little thing on the back in the news story or something.
You'd hope
right?
so. You'd hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Like, he has all of Vision's memories, so why didn't he go to protect Wanda? Also, why didn't regular Vision tell Wanda that White Vision is out there and he has all of his memories, so maybe she should look for him so that she won't be alone?
Maybe
that
you
would have
don't.
ruined their last moments together if it was just him explaining that Vision is still alive instead of having an emotional moment at the
Like,
end. Like,
forget about that. It's us saying goodbye. And also, is it that he has all of Vision's memories or all of previous Vision's memories? Because I don't
all of
think
previous Vision.
I was going to say he didn't implant anything in there, so he doesn't really know about Wanda being in trouble or anything like that, or what they've been going through now. I think it's just restore everything they had up until the moment they had the Mind Stone pulled out, and that's the last Vision that we see.
Yeah, it's like everything from all the way from Jarvis all the way to...
It's all confusing,
to
so
Vision.
he has to dip him. He doesn't know what the hell he's even doing here. He doesn't get it.
Yeah, he's like comprehending the fact that he's just gotten all this new fucking, like, unlocked all this new data and memories and the whole lifetime of memories. It's... Yeah, I imagine it'd be quite overwhelming even for an AI.
Yeah, it would be. Because also he's lacking the context for it. He just has the memories of it, but no... It's like if you put someone else's memories in your head, you don't become that person, right?
No,
you just become really
have their
confused.
personality traits.
Yeah.
Right. Agatha peaks as a character with her theme song back in episode 7. This episode, she became pretty bland and just another power-hungry villain. I wish they went more into Agatha wanting Wanda's power because Wanda is dangerous and lacks experience. Overall, it was a fantastic show with a disappointing ending. I'd give this show a 9 out of 10 if the Pietro thing didn't happen, but because it did, because it is a thing, and I'm a man of my word, and it hurt me deeply, I'm giving it a 1 out of 10.
Oh wow, he's giving the whole show a 1 out of 10.
I feel like it wasn't a 9 bad, but the Pietro was... That was a kick
took
in the
away.
dick. I'm taking 2 solid points off of it, which it didn't need to have. Like all the other little things, I can overlook.
Yeah.
Like, good point. Why doesn't Vision mention it? Why Agatha wasn't the greatest villain? There's a lot of stuff that could have been wrapped up and wasn't, but it still would have been a 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
But man, that hurt. That feels like a personal insult.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that is all of our comments, and that is the end of the show right here. We have been going for 2 goddamn hours. So
Big
you guys
2 hours.
Big beefy episode of this one. It was the final, so we was going to go long. As we said, next episode we are going to be with Tyler, and we're going to be talking about our hopes and dreams for Falcon and Winter Soldier. He just can't wait, so you guys can join us for that.
I feel like it's just going to be us listening to Tyler fap on a podcast.
It's just going to be...
Yeah. Gerg, any final thoughts to add about like WandaVision and where you hope it goes, or any of the Disney shows, anything like that?
I'm looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was one of the ones that I was a little bit more skeptical of, because I was like, well, it's just good. It might just be Captain America copy, but with not Captain America in it. But it actually looks like it's shaping up to be something really cool. Yeah. With like this synergy between Bucky and Sam. That's his name.
Sam.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Altered Carbon season 2, because Anthony Mackie was the leading man for that, and he was the only.
Oh no, I never watched. I never watched Altered Carbon.
I was worried that he wouldn't be able to be a leading man, but no, he's pretty great.
It's just everything around him needs to be good as well.
Right.
I am actually not worried, but I'm not as excited as I was for WandaVision.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier, because they are great, and at the end of the day, it's all about the chemistry, it's all about the writing, it's all about the characters and whatnot. But WandaVision is super. She has all these powers. Paul Bettany's character Vision has all these powers, and there's all these things, and there's all this multiverse stuff that could possibly come in, all this other like witch stuff. With Falcon and Winter Soldier, you essentially have a strong dude and a guy who can fly, who has really cool like gadgets and stuff like that. Granted, they can do a lot with that still. There's movies that have done it plenty of times before, but it's the MCU at the end of the day, and you want to see some powers, you want to see something something big.
What I see,
but maybe they can still wow me. Maybe.
Go on, George.
WandaVision is this new foray into the new phase of the MCU, but Falcon and Winter Soldier is a reminder that you're still in the same universe. There's still all these characters that you love and knew from the Infinity Saga, and it's almost like Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be a love letter to Captain America fans and fans of the first phase of the MCU. Whereas WandaVision is this exploration of this new frontier that they're sort of trying to bring in with the new phases. And I'm actually really looking forward to this sort of return to form, because WandaVision was crazy, but I want some classic MCU.
You want some comfort
I think I'm ready for it. Exactly.
Yeah, it is comfort food, isn't it? Another perspective is like you say, you have Wanda, Maximoff, and Vision who have all these powers. Well, the first 5 episodes is them trying to hide.
True.
Right? And just live a normal life, right? Yeah. And their powers come in more as quirky than like their MCU powers. And I think if you think about the couple Captain America movies, he is just strong guy fighting dudes with guns.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're back. We're kind of back to it. And I think the real interesting thing here is are they operating like under the radar, but they're quite high profile guys, like a guy that literally flies.
Yeah.
And a dude with a metal vibranium arm.
Right.
And he's public enemy as well.
Right, exactly. He's a terrorist, or was. And I think it's going to be, if Disney do it right, it's going to be their relationship that's the thing that draws you in, not so much the missions they're going on, which will be great, and I expect this to be more action-packed.
Yeah.
It will be more bombs and explosions and shooting and stuff.
It's going to be about what it means to be Captain America,
right?
And whether or not Sam has the heart to do it.
Right, exactly. And Bucky hopefully sort of rediscovering his friendship with Cap. You know, while he was away, what did he go through to become Captain America? How much did he put in? And trying to
exactly.
fill those shoes, but like
live up to his friend's legacy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. You guys, I hope, are looking forward to it, and you can come back here every Tuesday to get that episode and get your fix, lads. The flagship show of the FPN. You guys always looking forward to it, right? That's what it is.
I don't know why I always laugh when you say that.
I don't know why you are laughing, because you ask anyone, and it's
just something innately funny about that sentence.
Yeah, I mean,
are you guys getting tweets talking about your show on the Four Pillars Network? No,
of course I am.
No, you're not.
Lie.
They're all like, oh, Kingdom Hearts, and then Goofy, and then and Sora's song, and the Song of the Six Tales.
Love that in
are you playing? Are you playing the Melody of Madness? What's it going on?
What would you say is the best way to play Kingdom Hearts? What order should I play?
Do you play the? It's like, what's number 2? Is it 2.8.6.7.9?
You guys crack me up. You guys crack me up. I'm in a Discord call with a guy who's got a fucking Superman in his profile picture, and he's talking down to me.
Excuse me.
What the fuck?
That's how bad your take is here, guys.
That's how bad. No, hold on. I'm not into that. I'm not into that. Cut that from
He's just done you.
In fairness, my display pic is me as like a cartoon homeless. It's just a cartoon homeless me.
It is you, yeah.
I love that picture. I love that picture so much. It's beautiful.
Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining us for another episode. Thank you for joining us for the entire series of WandaVision. It's been awesome, and thank you for the warm welcome to the FPN and stuff like that. Thank you, George, for joining us despite being a terrible guest.
It's been a pleasure.
There you go. I hope we can get you on again soon in the future, and hopefully we can get. You know what I've been thinking? We need to get Fishy on sometimes on something.
Yeah,
I don't know,
for sure.
I don't know what which one he's more interested in.
If anything down in Falcon Winter Soldier, we'll have him on for that.
Exactly. There we go. Because he's used to burning things down. Exactly. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. Thank you, George. Thank you, Sheps, for joining me as well. We got awkward right there.
Awkward. It was totally smooth.
And we'll catch you guys all in the next one. All right. What did they say for the StreamCast?
Did we say that's
Diogo came up with a really cool thing, and I've forgotten it.
Find it.
I don't know where it is.
You suck.
Oh god, he wrote in a cool thing. We asked like, oh, what should we say when we wrap up a thing? And he's like, oh, how about saying this?
Come on, you gotta find it. You gotta find it.
George, what would you say if you were rapping? Like, you're gonna go for the branding. What are you gonna do, right?
Oh, I don't know. At the end of my videos, I literally just say "take care, bye." I don't even fucking.
Why did we?
I'm not slick like that. I'm not slick like that.
That's why you're a member of the Four Pillars. That's the kind of mediocrity.
Hey, they've got the as always. Tyler used to make weird noises at the end of every as always episode. That's counts, doesn't it? It used to go like beep boop 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 boop.
We'll catch you guys all in the next one. All right, catch you later, boys.
Take care, everybody.